What is going on, Benzinga Nation? Oh boy, have I missed you guys so much. It had been 2 weeks. We had some technical issues. It wasn't me. I wasn't slacking. I wasn't sleeping on the job. I promise you. Don't tell any of the bosses upstairs. No, I wasn't sleeping on the job. We had some tech issues that prevented me from being able to come live. As you know, the goal for this live stream is to come on every single Sunday to prepare you, hence the name of the show, Stock Market Prep, to prepare you for the upcoming week of the stock market in order to go over the events, earnings, since we're in earnings season, as well as doing a SPY analysis, and then my favorite part of the show, charting your stocks. So as they come into the stream chat, we'll be charting your stocks. So the first one we have is AQST from Trace. Again, I will always confirm with you to confirm that, hey, are you still here? Are you still watching in order to chart your stock? Because some people just drop it and go. But the point of this stream is to make sure we can get you prepared. So all we ask in return, as always, is to tickle that subscribe button. Also, I need 1 second to turn on the light. So give me 1 second. It's kind of dark in here, isn't it? Like I got like Batman eyes when he takes the mask off and he's got like the little dark curlies there. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. See, this is a one-man operation, so you don't exactly get full 100% going. Are you using your mic camera? I hope not. I'm zoomed into this one, so give me 1 second to double check the audio. We might be, yes. Thank you so much for letting me know. We were on the wrong audio. How about now? How are we looking now? Let's get this mic volume up. How are we sounding right now, folks? Dario, let me know how we're sounding. Eldon, Rudy, welcome to your first stream with us. I appreciate you. If you guys could let me know if the audio and everything is working properly. Again, I have no feedback loop to be able to confirm this. It should be better now because I'm connected to this guy right here. If not, we can adjust. So I'm going to wait for feedback, and then we're going to start setting up. Let me get my screen share going. I'm excited for this one. I've missed you guys so much. I've wanted to do it. Still the same. Okay, hold on. Let me double check. Camera, audio, this. Okay. Okay, hold on. I know what was messed up. I figured out what was wrong. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. How about now? Is it better now? We should be better now. How's the audio coming through now? No, I don't want to deal with that. I want to make sure we're good. Give me. Let me know. Is it better now? Because I fixed it. I accidentally changed the speaker, not the mic, but now I changed the mic. So let me know if it's any better now. If it is, we'll keep going. Beautiful. Thank you guys so much. Also, I want to appreciate you guys for coming on through. What's up, Dario? What's up, Antonio? Jimmy, Mike, Milky, what's up, buddy? I missed you. Patrick, aloha. Welcome. 100 million. My boy, 100 million from Twitch legend fame. What is going on, brother? Thank you for coming on board. I appreciate y'all so much for coming through for this stream. We've got a lot to talk about, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I want to get to the point, which is my favorite part of the show. Again, as mentioned, covering your stocks. I'm going to have a little cue here where you guys didn't see it. It kind of zoomed it out. Where I'm going to be tracking the list of stocks that come in to kind of control everything and make sure everything's going good. And then we're going to start ramming through stock charts after we get through the overall analysis. Because I know a lot of people ask for SPY. I'm looking at this screen. That's why I wasn't looking at you guys directly. Apologies. I know a lot of people ask for SPY. That's why I want to do it first and we get going. 100 million says, what's good, bro? Here to support great content for here, guys. Thank you so much, 100 million. Appreciate you guys. Folks, all we ask in return for this stream is if you could just do me one quick little tiny solid. It's not a little huge little tiny ask. If you could tickle that like button, it'll let the producers know not to turn the lights off on this show. We just turn the lights on. So let's get going. I'm excited. Let's get jamming. So first thing I want to do right off the bat is I wanted to take a look at the earnings calendar that we have for today, for this week rather. So I posted it on my Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter, the link is down below in the description. If you guys want, I posted the second Friday earnings close and this calendar comes out. I pump it out to you guys and I highlight the companies that I'm looking at. So the best thing here is the top holdings of the S&P, almost all of them have reported, which means volatility should drop slightly, but not fully. But we do have the mid cap and some more large cap stocks still reporting and some fan favorites, right? So right off the bat, Monday after the close, we have PayPal, Palantir, and Lucid. I know Lucid and Palantir are two of retail's favorite stocks. So we're going to be, obviously, I'm going to make sure that we have those charted for you guys to prepare. Then in the morning, we have Fisker and Nikola. I'm really interested to see what Nikola does. I'm really confused as to how they're still surviving. Last I remember, things were falling apart. but it is what it is. EVgo is also reporting. The reason I'm watching EVgo is because it will let us know how ChargePoint will be doing, which I know is another fan favorite for the retail markets. After close, we have Airbnb, Rivian, Occidental, which we know Oxy is the one big Warren Buffett stock. He loves that energy stock. He also did come out yesterday at the Berkshire Hathaway conference and say, hey, we're not looking to purchase the whole thing, but we're not ruling out that we will be buying more. So that's a good sign to see there. Twilio, now you have two funny stocks, which are Affirm and Upstart. The reason you might be wondering why these are funny is because one time there was a CNBC event where a gentleman came on the show and said, yeah, we've made a massive investment in Upstart. We have like a $400 price target on it. And then the host, I don't know, beknownst to them, I don't know why they did it or what it was. They came out and said, well, could you tell the audience exactly what Upstart does? And then he did this. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I can't hear you guys. We got to go. And then he left. So it's funny. On the bottom, we have two of my favorite stocks, right? I don't own positions in them right now. I divested out of them as we were going into the bear market, but it's Dutch Bros and Celsius. Especially Celsius is one of my top stocks that I'm always looking to get into if things get cheaper, because they have a cult following in terms of customer base, not in terms of investor base, and they have really good. They tend to, have really good earnings on top of it. They did take a few hits, but the stock price has held up very well. So I'm going to put that down as well to discuss. Palantir. So I got Palantir right now. I've got Lucid, because I know you guys love Lucid. I'll put Celsius down as well. These are my three that I want. And if there's any of these that you guys want, I see someone's asking for Airbnb. I see someone's asking for LAC, Coin, and FCell. Let me put those down too. LAC, Coin, FCell. So keep these coming into this chat, into the stream. But I will double check with you guys to make sure you're here before I chart the stock, because I want to make sure you're here to be able to see this. If you're not here, we'll move on to someone else's charts. Before open on Wednesday, we have Roblox, which is interesting because they put out really bad numbers for their updates, which wasn't their earnings. So I wonder how that correlates. Then we've got Blackstone down below. Ooh, Blackstone. After the close, we have one of my bigger holdings, which is Walt Disney. Let's see how Disney performs. It's going to be telling to see how Disney Plus has been going. They've put out a few Marvel movies since their last quarter, which is interesting to see how the velocity of movies coming out has been high. Trade Desk as well as Unity. Unity will give us an idea as to the gaming 3D world, that VR world. I like Unity. I don't have a position with them anymore. I did, but I divested, and I want to see where that goes to. I have a keen eye on them for their studio, their design. Their tech is really good, and I like it. Then we have Ginkgo Bioworks and Beyond Meat. The reason I highlighted Ginkgo Bioworks is if you follow Kathy Wood and the ARK investment firm, they heavily have been buying Ginkgo Bioworks for their ARK G fund, and it has been heavily taking a dump. So it's one thing to keep in mind with Ginkgo Bioworks in there. So we'll be watching it there. By we, I mean me. And by the way, for these earnings that you see me circled here on my Twitter, I put the link for my Twitter in the description. I have the Benzinga Pro Tool, which is this thing right here. You're welcome to purchase it if you like, but you don't have to. You're welcome to purchase it. I have a promo link. I'll discuss that later. But I will be posting these earnings, like you can see here from Friday, or whenever these were, whenever I was on this computer. I put the earnings in here, and I'm able to get them to you fairly quickly. And the cool thing is that I know a buddy of mine, I won't mention his name, but he's got a Bloomberg terminal, and we're literally on par with posting this stuff. Either I beat him by a second or he beats me by a second. So I'm going to make sure to get you guys these earnings. Thursday, there isn't really anything that stands out to me. If there is anything that stands out to you, please let me know. I'd love to cover it. Krispy Kreme would be funny to see how they do the donut world, because Dunkin' isn't publicly traded anymore. Armin, I see you with Shop. We're going to definitely do Shop. Shop is actually on my watch list for this week. I'll be happy to do Shop with you. And then Friday, there's nothing that stands out for me on Friday. So earnings-wise, we're golden. I think we covered in terms of these are the companies. I'll refer back to it to see how things are going. If you want an idea of how Nike is doing, Under Armour will be a good teller. If you're invested into Nike, it'll be a good teller. How you doing, Armin? I appreciate you being here with us today. So that's it, essentially, for earnings. Six Flags will be funny to see. Tyson, I know I didn't circle it, but Tyson, again, it's harder to plan for an earnings before a Monday open. I see Yeti. It'll be really hard to plan for this one, but this is very telling. This is a need-based company, right? They make chicken, right? Tyson's Chicken. We've seen those really funny commercials for Tyson's Chicken. It's a good indicator for the economy, right? What is the velocity of sales on chicken? Because chicken isn't as expensive as red meat, but it isn't as affordable as pork. It falls in the middle ground. It'll let you see how the velocity of chicken sales are doing and give you a little small signal on the economy. Nothing too big. Fiverr, I see you. I have a funny story on Fiverr. If we have time, I'll tell you the Fiverr story as well. Okay, so this is earnings. Now I want to move on to the economic events that are happening. I'm not going to spend too much time on economic events. Let me just turn on. I bought this new little trackpad tool to be able to help me with the streams because it is a lot easier to use than a mouse. We have CPI data coming out. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on CPI because I spent all of Saturday and most of Friday evening building a video on CPI for you. I don't exactly agree with these earnings estimates here. We've seen analysts be very wrong for the past few times. I put out a full video on CPI that I linked down below. I will remind you to go watch it after the stream is over. But that video is there, so I won't spend too much time on this here. The 10-note auction could have a small effect on the end of the day on Wednesday, but CPI will rule the day. And one thing to remember is CPI can have a 1 to 2 to 3 day lag event depending on how it goes. And we've seen that for the past few CPIs. By the way, if I'm speaking too fast, 1, I apologize. 2, let me know and I can slow down. If you remind me, I will not get offended. It's something that I'm working on personally as a broadcaster, as a content creator, to speak slower, and I'm doing a very bad job at it. If you can remind me, it will help me out as always. So forgive me if I'm speaking too fast. It's just a character flaw. Thursday, we have PPI data. This is the producer price index. This is a forward-looking projection as to how much cost is being put on producers, developers, people who are producing products. And it's a good indicator for what the next CPI could be. Usually, it hasn't been on par personally. Full transparency, it hasn't been on par, so it hasn't been something that I'm watching. Thursday, we do have Fed Waller speaking. Now, one thing that I'll tell you that I've learned from these past 2-3 FOMCs, everything these genius Fed members say, and sure, we have to have a degree of respect for them, is never on track for what happens with the FOMC day. So the Fed members will come out. You'll have Bullard. I think that gentleman spoke on Friday. I didn't even keep track of what he said. I didn't care because every time they come out, they say anything. It never, ever, ever correlates with exactly what happens at FOMC. Why? Because at FOMC, Jerome Powell makes the ultimate decision and everyone votes in line unanimously. So just want to keep that in mind. I know they move markets. They tend to have an effect if they come out and say something outlandish. Like if Fed Waller comes out and says, hey, we're going to have a recession tomorrow, markets are obviously going to freak out. But if Fed Waller comes out and says, hey, we're going to pause rates, and then Bullard says, no, we're going for 50 basis points, it's going to be like, who do we trust? No one. Don't trust any of them. It doesn't make sense. Bowman speaks on Friday. Then we have some import-export data. Michigan consumer sentiment data, believe it or not, does have an effect on the markets. If this number is in line or good, it can have an effect at the 10 a.m. candles. That can be responsive for 10 to 15 minutes. If they're very, very outlandishly bad, they have a massive negative effect on the markets that day, especially since nothing else is coming out. Keep an eye on that as well. Nothing else that really stands out to me. I don't really track the oil stuff, and the Wade's report has a very, very minuscule. It doesn't really move markets, right? But it's something good to take a look at. That's that there. So we have those. We covered earnings. We covered that. I'll keep the earnings calendar open there for you. And it's time to do some SPY analysis. So this is the chart, by the way. This is the same exact chart that I send out to my trading team. If you aren't familiar with them, I have a trading team that I work with. It's an education leading team. The point is to help people learn how to do the technical analysis that I'm doing with you today. Provide them with value. We have daily watch list on there, and I've created this really cool tool that I'll show you really quickly. It's not meant to really be a plug, but I just want to share with you guys in case anyone's interested in learning or joining a team or looking for a team. Ignore the results for a second. That's not important. That's not the highlight of why I'm showing you this. The reason is, if you look, I've created this way of showing them exactly how I'm trading or what I'm trading before it happens. What does that mean? I'm telling you my plan before it happens and what I'm going to be trading versus me alerting something. I don't think people learn from alerts. That's just my 2 cents. This way I'm telling you, like, hey, if we go off the 9 EMA for a retest, off of a bounce, it's a good re-entry position if you miss the initial call entry. So this is what I've created to be able to help my team and trade. If you're interested, we'd love to have you. The link is down below in the description. Discord.ryanstocks.com. I think there's like 4 spaces left for the month. If you guys want to join, you're more than welcome. The link is down below. But this is just that tool there for the SPY results and how it did. I give you my initial entry of how it's going, and then I also provide re-entry opportunities. Then midday, as things got choppy, obviously this is from Friday, in case you guys are curious. This is from Friday. So as things got choppy, I kept updating the plan until we were able to get an entry. We found an entry. It gave us an entry, a bounce off the 9 EMA retest. I calculated it from this point here, by the way. You could have obviously entered down here off the 9 EMA retest if you wanted to. But I calculated off of this point to be fair with the alert, because I always want to make sure that the alerts are fair, especially with the results that I'm posting. I want to make sure that they're 100% transparent and honest, because the whole point of this is transparency and honesty. And it bounced and did 462% off of a 0 DTE, and I think it was like 70 something percent off of a 1 DTE for Monday. By the way, SPY contracts have gotten very affordable since IV has dropped and the VIX has fallen. And then at the end of the day, I had no entry positions because I had plans. I had 2 plans. I updated them. I couldn't get an entry position here. I don't like trading when the gap between the 9 and the 50 is small. I find that very hard to get an entry because sometimes it'll come and bounce very fast. So that's just my personal thing. Sorry about the text ping. So this is the SPY bot. If you're curious in joining, I'd love to have you on the team. It's not just this, it's another trading bot. I'll go over that stuff later, but I want to do some SPY analysis. This is the chart that I give my team, and I'll be posting it for them shortly tonight after this stream. But one thing that I'm looking at here is this yellow trend line here. Let me just adjust myself a little bit for you to be able to see the screen better. Is this coming through clear for you guys? Is it big enough? Let me know. And I appreciate you all that are here with us tonight. We have a much bigger audience than usual, so that means a lot. If you could smash that like, that would be perfect. If not, no big deal. So I've got this resistance trend line here, which is this yellow trend line here. I will turn it red. Sorry, that's my sister shooting me a text. I got this trend line right here, which has been acting as resistance for a bit. We can see here we even had this ugly candle. Thank you so much, Milky, for the feedback. We had this ugly hangman candle here, and we saw the sell-off proceed. This was literally FOMC, the day before FOMC day, the after effect. If you guys saw my FOMC video on my YouTube channel, I spoke about this. I said if Jerome Powell comes out and says we're doing 25 basis points, doesn't exactly give an entry on the pause, and says that we're not cutting rates this year, markets will take 1 to 2 days to price this in. Here we go, 1, 2 days, and then on Friday, zoom back up. So we see what's happening here. We're really going to need to get over this 413.83 level. This is a fib level. Now you might be wondering, hey, what's the range of this fib that you drew? If you're new to these streams, welcome again. The range of the fib is from the high point in August to the low point in October. So I have this nice little range, and really we've been stuck within this range for essentially since August of last year. So we're almost closing in on a year of being within this one range, very flat. And these fibs have proven to be very, very good ranges. And if you don't know what Fibonacci's are, I teach them in the course videos that I give for free to Discord members and to Patreon members. So that's there. But fib levels, essentially in a nutshell, if I was to give you a lesson in a quick 50-second burst, they're mathematical ranges of levels that can act as both support and resistance. And the 50% fib level is where things kind of flip and can give you an entry if you're going to go into an uptrend or flip into a downtrend. A quick example, again, sticking to education for 2 seconds, is you can come here. You can see here, if we had lost the 50% fib clean fully, we would have had a path and a trajectory down to this 36.78. As you can see here, why isn't my mouse moving? As you can see here we lost it clean. We came to this range, it held, it bounced, came to this range, lost it. You can see this 380. This is also this is lining up with another fib range that I have for all of COVID until the peak of the bull market. It's also one of our fib ranges here. Came, bounced back up, came down here, tested this range. You can see here it held the 50, bounced up, but still one of the biggest points that we've been having a hard time getting over is this 413.84. For an easier way of being able to say it so I don't drive myself nuts, I'll just say 414 range. This 414 range has been a pain in the keister to get over, right? So it's been a pain. And really you can see it's also parallel to our big volume wall here, and you need enough volume to get over that volume wall. And on Friday, unfortunately, even with the good amount of volume that we had on Friday, it was a burst of volume, not as parallel as to the volume that we had for the past 2 days for FOMC and the day after. And that's normal because it's end of the week and FOMC tends to have a burst of volume compared to the other days. And we can see here it was the day before was the highest volume, but then it still had decent volume there. And it held. So we have this resistance trend line. For us to be able to make a path upwards on SPY, for the markets to go up, obviously you need the parts of the whole to move the sum, aka Apple and Microsoft need to go back in an uptrend, which they did very good on Wednesday, both of them. We'll take a look at them if we get a second. We need this to get over this 413.84 range. Once we break over that, we're going to meet resistance here at the 415 range. If you guys remember, just shortly, like a week or so ago, we met it. We met it here, and we were able to break out of it. We had a little false breakout here where we closed Even here we couldn't close. We got to 414.21. We weren't able to close over 415, but we went to 415.72. So we need to get over this range of this 415 after we get over this 413.84. Once we break over that puppy, once we get over that milestone, our next big battle will be this ugly candles range of 417.62, which is in parallel within some historical resistance ranges of back here, right? Back in February, you see these ugly wicks. Top wicks are selling pressure. And just to tell you the story of a candle, right? Bottom wick is buying pressure. That's good. That means, like, take a look at this candle right here. This candle right here, solid body on the candle, no top wick, solid bottom candle, good buying pressure, strong buying pressure. Top wick, no body, no candle, nothing here is solid selling pressure. Even here, take a look at this, solid selling pressure. The seller, it came all the way this high, and then the sellers sunk it. This candle is ugly hangman doji candle. It's called a doji gravestone candle. Was a very bad sign, a very bad signal for what was happening to the markets, and we saw that play out. But our 50 exponential moving average caught us, bounced us back up, and markets priced in the FOMC event. And personally, if you want my 2 cents on the FOMC, I believe pending this week's CPI data, which the full video is down there, I highly, highly, highly suggest you guys watch it after. I'll remind you at the end of the stream as well to go and watch that FOMC video, that May CPI video. They're almost always on par, almost always correct. Even when analysts are off, and I've been on the opposite side of the range, it's been proven to work, and the data has been correct. If CPI is good and markets are good, we'll be able to break over this range. If CPI is bad, we won't be able to get over that range. Now, I want to go to the hourly chart real quick, and then this will be the last node before we move on to charting your stocks. So stick with me. I got you guys. And I'll take a look at this. Nice rounding bottom. If you want to kind of look at it this way, if I switch to Heikinashi, you'll be able to see it a little bit more clear. Take a look at this, Heikinashi, which I don't like trading Heikinashi, but it helps us see the image better, helps us see the pattern better. You can see a nice rounding bottom. If things come down here and we form another shoulder, we can have a nice inverse head and shoulders, and then we break out above it, and then we go test the 418 range. It'll be really, really nice to see that play out. But let me just switch back to my hello candles, which I like. Again, for a path up, we need to get over 413.84. For a path down, now if you're looking to short the markets, if you're looking to get out, again, none of this is financial advice. I'm just an idiot on the internet trying to help you for education purposes only. You're gonna really need to get below. Again, I'm talking for if you're looking for a long range shorting this thing, like, hey, we're gonna come down. You need to lose the 200 MA. That's just what it is for a long range down. You have some very good support at 410.57. It came down here and it bounced very, 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 very well on Cinco de Mayo, aka Friday. Bounced beautifully off of this level. And you can see here, even in the hellfire of the open, which was pretty ugly, it came down here and then it bounced and went right back up. We had a nice, beautiful gap up, actually. I appreciate you, Milky. Thank you so much. Michael, I got you with SQ. And Red Moon Legacy says short the VIX. We'll discuss the VIX as well. So we have a nice little gap, unfortunately, that's formed here. I don't like gaps. If you guys know me, I don't like gaps on charts. Maybe other places, but not on charts. But we need to, for a path downwards, you're really going to be looking realistically. Realistically, if you're looking to get down below, you need to lose this 411.50 support, and then it'll come visit the EMAs. If the EMAs go, you come to the 200 MA. 200 MA goes, you come and visit 408.40, and then you begin to fill the gap. And I think if CPI is higher than estimated, higher than that 5% estimate, let's say you come in at 5.2, you're going to see this gap fill fairly quickly. Why? Because it signals that Jerome Powell gets another 25 basis point rate hike. CPI is bad, another 25 basis point rate hike, no questions asked, right? The second, on Wednesday, we're going to know exactly what the next FOMC is going to be. And the markets are going to react accordingly, and the global markets are going to react accordingly, and we're going to see it it's going to be fairly clean cut and dry this time. CPI is good, you're going to see a nice little boom back up. You're even going to see people starting to price in a pause, fully price in, because markets talk about like, hey, like for example, you can see right here, I discussed this, I put out a FOMC review video on my YouTube, on my Twitter. It's right. This is a meme for Jim Cramer. In case let's have fun for 2 seconds. Jim Cramer meme. You guys know that Jim Cramer, our buddy, is always inverse everything, whatever Jim says. Let me just switch the view for a second so you guys can see it. Jim Cramer, this is Jim Cramer in front of the Titanic, and he's saying, this ship is unsinkable. And I just had to post it. I really couldn't stop laughing. It was so funny. And then, of course, the Titanic sank. But again, just for funsies, I wanted to kind of share that with you guys. But I put out a video reviewing FOMC on my Twitter page right here. Not this one. That's just a meme. But here, I reviewed it, and I mentioned it. I said that if we're able to truly, because what happened was, right around here, right at 2 o'clock, market said, hey, we're pricing in for a rate cut in September. And I told my Discord team, I don't know if any of them are in here right now, but I told them they can confirm. I was like, if anyone is pricing in a rate cut right now, they're an idiot for this year, because Jerome Powell hasn't confirmed it. Last time he clearly said it's not going to happen. And I said the second he opens his mouth and said rates are not going to get cut, markets are going to sell off. Well, ladies and gentlemen, around this time, and again, I have it in the video, literally lined it up, and you can see it on the Twitter page there. Links in the description if you want to watch it. It literally sold the markets off. We began to consolidate here to price it in fully around this range. And honestly, it was a very quick pricing in. It was only 2 days, just like last time, just 2 days. That's the beauty of 25 bips. If you go back and look at the 2018, 2017 rate hikes, those were also on parallel. They were 25 bips a clip. We didn't do too much damage. They did some damage there, but again, precedent compared to what we were doing with the 75 bips, it's been glory days with 25 bips, right? Even though they still have an effect on the markets, and we're still in the middle of a debt ceiling crisis. We'll talk about that later. So we had our fun with SPY. Now it's time to chart your stocks. So what I'm going to do is I have 4 stocks right here. I have Palantir, Lucid, Celsius, Airbnb. Then I have the stocks that came in from a few folks, LAC, Coin, and FCell. Then I have Shop, Yeti, Fiverr, and SQ. So I'm going to start with Palantir, and I'm going to work my way around this, but I'm going to confirm with you that you're still here in the chat before I chart your stock. And all I ask in return is if I chart your stock, you hit that like button. It'll help out a lot. It'll help keep the lights on. Carlos, what's going on, brother? Welcome to the stream. Negam, what's up, buddy? Welcome. I appreciate you guys coming and supporting. Love having you guys here. Milky says you're not an idiot, bro. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. That's awesome. I love your profile picture. Love it. It's loads of fun. All right, let's do Palantir. All right, so we're doing Palantir. Now, the cool thing is I got the Benzinga Pro tool, which allows us to get the details on what's going to be happening with Palantir in terms of earnings estimates, and we'll be able to see where markets could go off of that as well. Palantir is a mixed bag almost always because it has so much stock-based compensation, right? There's so much stock-based compensation on this company that it unfortunately brings down earnings, or tends to bring down earnings. It's been getting better, but we're gonna see things kind of where they're headed. So let's see. Let me see where I can get my little earnings there we go, calendar. Okay, so it's been a minute since I've come and checked here. We can see here that their Q1 estimated revenue is $505 million, which is more quarter over quarter. It's higher, year over year. It's higher. That's a good thing. Again, these are estimates from the street. And then we have 0.4 for EPS, which would be higher than last time, but it will be, let me see. This is Q1. It will be flat year over year, which is, again, it's fine considering we're in such a high rate environment. It's fine, but again, we're going to see. You want this in line or beats. Dario, of course, you can ask for AMD. I see Negam's asking for SoFi and Tesla. Negam, I'm going to have that SoFi video filmed after this stream to get it out for you. Not just for you specifically, but for the team. For the Discord team. And if you're a Twitter subscriber, which they have that new subscribe feature, I think I have it on like $2 a month or something. I give those videos also to those guys as well. All right, let's take a look at Palantir's chart. This is the thing. Palantir has been a mixed bag, right? This 863 range is a pain. We've got some support here on the 719 range. Let's draw some fibs. You guys know I love the fibs. I love fibs. Let me just move these to the top left. Lock in the figure. Done. Beautiful. Take a look at this. Look at this. The beauty of the Fibonacci. We had a resistance level we drew by hand, and look, it lines up exactly with our fib level. That's the beauty of fibs, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the beauty of the Fibonacci's. I highly suggest you learn them. If you're looking for a place to learn them, obviously the trading team is available to you. There's a few slots left for the month. We'd love to have you. Shameless plug. So we can see here that we're in a very strong downtrend, right? We're stuck under the 90 MA, stuck under the 50 EMA, stuck under the 200 MA, very, very bad signs. And you need to get over this 812, and then you need to get over this 863 to be able to make a move up. That's the big thing. And you have these 3 big volume walls here. So you're going to need billion point 8 more than that. Hold on, let's do the math here. 8.54 plus 809.6 plus 837.4 plus the 0.4 from the beginning. You're going to need, hold on, I put a decimal off, plus the 0.4. So here we go. Sorry, I wasn't looking and typing, and that tends to not go well usually. I'm a child of the 90s, so we didn't exactly grow up with computers. So you're going to need 2.1 billion in volume to get this sucker moving up. And you can get that. You can get that. This is a stock that can get that volume, but it's got to be really good news. Like, you need this EPS to come in at a 0.45, 5 or higher. Resume, you can see this sucker fly. Again, my opinion personally, especially if estimated revenue comes in higher too, resume, you can see it fly. But if things get ugly, they don't do a stock buyback or something's off. These guys don't have a dividend, right? It's not going to help you out. Let me see how much cash they don't. They have good cash, actually. They could do a buyback if they wanted to. They're sitting on 2.6 billion in cash and cash equivalents. But I wouldn't suggest. I don't think a growth company at this stage should do a buyback. It's also the same reason why I'm against Tesla doing a buyback right now. Focus on building out the company first. We could deal with buybacks later. But essentially, you're going to need to get over 812 and then 863 for this to make its transcendental move up. Excuse me, mouth fumble. And if you break the $7 range, you're going to come to 686. You're probably going to test. You have a little bit of support here at the 666 range, 665 range, and then you come down to the straight 6 range there. That's essentially, unfortunately, they're happening unfortunately. So that's Palantir. Let me do one of the stocks that you guys gave. So let me go all the way up to see who asked for Laccoin and FCE, see if they're still here. Trace, I'm sorry, Trace, you asked first. I'm not sure if you're still here for AQST. If you're still here, Trace, please let me know. And I'm writing your guys' names down next to these to make sure that I can actually ask you guys instead of having to scroll, hence the paper. Mike B63. Mike B63. Are you still here with us? For that one, someone asked for Airbnb. It was Winstern, are you still here for Airbnb? Let me know. Armin, are you still here for Shop? Let me know. I got CJ for Yeti. I've got Eldon for Fiverr. I've got Michael Zamora for SQ. I've got Negum for SoFi and Tesla. And I've got Dario for AMD. Okay, cool. Here we go. Okay, cool. You guys are here. All right, let's start with Winstern because I don't have a confirmation from Mikey or the guy who asked for AQST. So let's start with Winstern on Airbnb, and then I'm seeing a few of you guys are asking. Armin's still here too. A few of you guys are asking for AMD, so we'll jump the gun on AMD there and do that one. But let's do Airbnb first. So Airbnb. So again, another company that has earnings this week. Here's our earnings calendar. They're reporting after the close on Tuesday. Cool. Dario's here too. Awesome. Let's see. Airbnb. Let's take a look at the calendar. What? Oh, that's dividend. Sorry. Let's see what the estimates are. Okay. Estimates are EPS is going to be coming in lower. Makes sense. It is what it is. We're in a higher rate environment. Margins are getting compressed across the board. Costs are high. Let me check one thing. Okay, Wynn's reporting the same day, so that won't be an indicator for us. Did Hyatt report yet? Did Hyatt report? Hyatt stock. Are they even publicly traded? Hold on, let me see. I'm checking this because it'll give us... Yeah, Hyatt is publicly traded. So let me see how these guys did, if they even reported yet. Hyatt Hotel did not report yet, unfortunately. Let me look at an airline that reported. I think Delta did their earnings. Delta did earnings. No, they didn't. Okay, Jet did. Southwest did. Southwest. Louvre. That's such a weird ticker. No, they didn't. Okay, it looks like a few airlines haven't reported yet, which sucks. But okay, let's just go. We'll just look at Airbnb raw. Again, the thing that I'm doing here is I'm looking for comps, right? So it's like, you know how you try to go buy a house? UAL did. Thank you, CJ. Appreciate you. CJ, I also have you down for Yeti, so I'm happy you're here. UAL, United. The reason I'm looking at this is I'm looking at comps, right? I looked for direct comps. Hyatt hasn't reported yet. We know that Wynn is going to be reporting, so these two haven't reported yet. I'm looking at the travel sector and the travel industry, right? An airline will give me some sort of a signal. Why is their earnings not here? Oh, Love hasn't reported. UAL hasn't reported yet. UAL is reporting on the 9th. They haven't reported yet. An airline reported. I forgot. Was it American Airlines? Did American report? No. What the heck? I thought these guys reported. All right. We don't have a comp. That's okay. The reason I'm doing this, I'm looking for comps to see where the airline industry is going, where the hospitality industry is going, to be able to see where Airbnb could go. And looking at Airbnb flat right here, not that the stock is flat, looking at it just plain raw, let's run some fibs, right? We're going from the high to the low. The 200 moving average has been a saving grace. The yellow line is the 200, blue is the 50 EMA, pink is the 9 EMA. The 200 moving average has been a saving grace for this stock. I got my Hogwarts mug here and got some coffee chugging at 8:50 p.m. on a Sunday. Not a good idea, but I got to be up late. I got to get some work done and got to get Succession watched under the belt before people spoil it for me. But we can see here that we also have a bit of a trend line forming here for our friend Airbnb. So let's draw it. Okay. What the heck was that? Trend spider. Take a look at this. We have somewhat of a trend line formed here, acting as resistance. But your main powerhouse resistance is sitting here right at 121.88. If you can break above that, and you have a bit of a path, if you can break above this, you have a little bit of a volume wall here, which you'll meet with some slight resistance realistically in the 124 range. Once you're able to break that, you'll be visited with the 126.20 range right there. And then if you can break that, you will be able to have a very clean path up to 130 very quickly. Now, now Airbnb, if I can get the float on here, I'm not sure if they show the float on Benzinga or not. Let me see. Not the short. This is the short float, not the float. There we go. It's a lower float stock, which means you don't need too much volume. Again, under 100 million is considered a low float. Under 50 is micro float. Over $1 billion, you're gonna need volume to move this sucker. This thing's right in the middle, right around 400 million. So if earnings are good, you tend to see this sucker pop off and go crazy. Now, I don't have the. Let me just check one thing. I don't have the options chains. Unfortunately, Benzinga doesn't give us the options chains, but I can look at the option chains here. I want to see if it's optionable in terms of volume, right? In terms of volume, you have decent volume on the 120s for calls, and you have decent volume on the 125s. For calls there, but IV is already at 73%. This is going to ramp up obviously tomorrow and go higher. I don't ever recommend, again, not a financial advisor, but I never recommend ever doing options on earnings plays unless you're lottoing, aka what does that mean? The equivalent of buying a lotto. You're buying the scratcher knowing that you could lose all your money or win something. That's the world there. And the implied move on this, let me pull up my Unusual Whales account to be able to look up the implied move. That way we'll be able to see what the implied move is on this. Again, I'm going in a lot of detail for this one play. Other plays will go quicker because I want to kind of I'm teaching you how I go through the world of an earnings, right? As to how to expect it. So I go to earnings here on Unusual Whales, and I can see that there's a 9% implied move. So if we don't have a 9% or higher move here on Airbnb, you're going to have what's called an IV crush. The IV gets crushed. The options chains die in value. The premium is dropped significantly, even if the chain is moving in your direction. Even if you have a call option, Airbnb is up 3%. Implied volatility falls. Your options chain is also going to get a hit. Thank you, CJ. CJ's got this. Look at this. CJ's got the numbers coming in for me. I appreciate you, brother. So that's Airbnb in a nutshell. You're going to need to break over 121 and then 126 to be able to make a path up to 130. But If you lose this 50 EMA, you're going to come straight to the 200 moving average fairly quickly. You have a little bit of support here at 112, a little bit of support here in the 112, 111.50 range. If that goes, you're going to visit very quickly your 200 simple moving average. 200 simple moving average goes, and you lose this 107. This puppy has a path down to 103 and then 101. And we already know that this has a massive short position on it based off of that short report. Short float right now is at 4.6%. So you're not going to get a short squeeze. Don't play this as a short squeeze play. I hate short squeeze plays. They're terrible, terrible in my opinion. They're gambles. Don't do it. You're going to give me an aneurysm. But I just wanted to make you aware of that. So that's Airbnb in a massive, massive nutshell. I'm not sure if Winston's still here. I appreciate you. I hope that helped. If I cover any of your stocks and you have a follow-up question, do me a solid and follow up with that question. I want to make sure that you know everything, you get everything you needed in terms of value from this. Let's go to the next one. I do want to quickly remind you though, that you're going to need to hit that like button. We're at 37 likes. There's 73 people in there. Let's get to 50 likes on the stream, or Jason Raznick, the CEO of Benzinga, is going to shut down my show. He's going to come off. He's going to turn the lights off. We turn the lights off when we start. He's going to come into my room and turn the lights off if we don't get to 50 likes. So hit that like button, or I'm going to get the lights turned off on me. Real quick question, just for me here. Do you guys hear the air conditioning in the background? I have an AC on. This mic is supposed to make sure that you guys don't hear that air condition. If you could let me know, do you hear like a buzzing sound in the background that's an air conditioner or anything? If yes or no, if you could let me know. If it is, I need to go out and buy a compressor for the mic. Let me know about that. Let's go to the next stock. So we did Airbnb for Winston. Appreciate you. Great suggestion. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Milky, for the feedback. Let's go. So the guy who asked for LAC, Coin, and FCell is not here, so I'm going to splash it out. AQST isn't here. Let's go to one of mine real quick. Thank you, thank you guys so much for the feedback. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to quickly do Lucid because I know it's a fan favorite. And then I'm going to do AMD because that one's on the chart. And then we're going to do Shop from Armin. I know a few people asked for AMD, and we're going to do that. So right now in the queue, in order, and then of course I'm going to make sure we don't end the stream till I answer all of these stocks for you. So just stick with me. I'm going to get you. I promise. I'm here for you. We're already about 40 minutes in. We're going to go as long as we need to go. Just make sure we don't get the lights turned off on us. I appreciate you guys. Jay, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the stream. All right, let's do this. Let's do Lucid. Lucid is Saudi Arabia's favorite stock. The reason I say that is because the Saudi Arabia fund has such a massive, massive position in Lucid. You might be wondering, hey, Ryan, why didn't you include this massive wick in your Fibonacci's? Well, this is the thing. This is an outlier candle. What does that mean? This thing was on a massive pump that there was a fake article that came out, a fake news article that came out that said Lucid is going to be purchased by the Saudi Arabian fund fully and taken private. That turned out to be fake. It was literally turned off the next day, and you can see here that the stock has sold off after that. So I don't include that into my analysis because it will throw everything off. If you see here, not including that candle into the analysis, the fibs line up very, very well. So you can see here that that's, again, another mini lesson is an outlier candle is usually disavowed, big scary word. I can't believe I said that on a live stream. Is not included on a fib. So we can see here that Lucy is fighting this 50 exponential moving average. Two big boy volume walls right here. About $1 billion and some change between them. Chris, I see you with IEP. Let me add that to the chart, to the list. What's up, Nocturnal Sky, and what's up, John? Welcome to the stream, guys. Happy to have you. Jay, what's up, buddy? Tassos, hey, I didn't know you were here. What's up, bud? Let me just do something really quickly. I want to just retweet this to make sure that people get it out there. 1 second. Sorry, guys. I need to just quickly retweet that. All right, perfect. I want to remind you guys, if you're still here with us, there is a full video on the CPI analysis coming out this week, linked in the description, called the CPI video. I'm going to show you guys how to get there in case you don't know how to get there. Here we are. If you just click this little drop down right here, you'll see it says May CPI video. If you click that, that video will be available to you to watch, and subscribe on that. That's my channel. I did that video myself. Highly suggest you guys check that out if you guys want to. It's a very, very good analysis. In my opinion, a little biased. In my opinion, it's a good video to watch to prepare for CPI. That's why I didn't go over CPI too much in this stream, because you have a resource there. If you're curious as to joining the training team and learning exactly everything that I'm doing, trading with us, learning with us, it's education first, using these bots like I showed you guys a little bit earlier. The results on the bots, you can see here, this is the new SPY bot, did very well for us on the second day in, and our actual regular watch list bot, which kind of shares the plays from the watch list, you can see they did very well as well. This is from Friday. I accidentally wrote 5-4. This is from Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo. I hope you guys had a fun Cinco de Mayo if you guys celebrate that. But you can see the results are there. If you guys want to join the trading team, the link is here, discord.ryanstocks.com. I believe there's 4 slots available left for this month. Come on down, join us, invest in your trading. It's really worth it. And it's a tax write-off, by the way. So in case you guys want to lower that tax bill, invest in yourself, lower the bill. Bing bong. Here we go. Let's go into Lucid's earnings estimates as well. CJ's telling me they're coming in at a 43 cent loss. I believe it. Again, this is a growth company, so I don't expect them to be cash flow positive. I don't expect them to have a positive earnings. And it's not a bad thing. All these quote unquote, I hate to say this, but these are startup companies that have IPO'd, right? These companies, it's set to make less money and a worse EPS quarter over quarter. Year over year, it's set to be better year over year. Actually, worse year over year. Excuse me. We're dealing with negative numbers. That's not good. Year over year for revenue. This is going to be the headline. If analysts love it, they're going to say, "Look at that! They 6x their revenue from 50 million to 200 million. Excuse me, 8x their revenue." And you're telling me there's a 14% move. Sell calls, maybe. Yeah, that's a cool thing. CJ is actually bringing up something that we discussed. I think on a Twitter space I was discussing this. If you're not following me on Twitter, you should. And that's also in the description. You can sell calls. So I can tell you what the implied volatility on Lucid is right now. The IV on Lucid is about 130%. If you own shares of Lucid, if you own 100 shares of Lucid, and you think the stock is going to go down, this is if you're betting against it, you think the stock is going to go down, you have the ability to sell covered calls on the position, which means that as the implied volatility drops, your premiums are going to drop, so you can buy back those covered calls at a higher premium. I'm going to do a video on covered calls. I don't think this is the medium to discuss that right now, but that's definitely something you can do with an implied move of 14%. That is definitely the move to make there. So let me just double check on my end to see if I have 14% as well. I got 15.5% implied move on Lucid. That's a big move. It's less than last time, but it's still a big move. So for Lucy to go up, you're going to need to break this 50 EMA. Fairly simple, fairly straightforward. No potato, no potato. You got to break this here, and then you got to break over 8.76. You're going to have to get over that 8.76, 8.87. You break that to the upside, you can come and quickly fill this gap. You don't have much of a volume wall here. You're going to quickly probably come and fill this gap to $9.80. And I think if the earnings are good, if they're a surprise, you're going to be able to do it. Rafiq, SQ's on the list. We're going to get to it. But if earnings are bad, you're going to see this thing come and test the $7 range. If 7 goes, you're going to see 663. 663 goes, you're going to go to 609. So you can see here that we're discussing both the path up and the path down. Really, your big indicator for a move up is this 50 exponential moving average on the daily chart. That needs to be broken upwards to be able to go up. And if you lose the 662, you're probably going to come visit the 52-week low of $6.09. If things are ugly, I could see that breaking down there. Again, I'm not saying Lucid's a bad company. I think it's a very, very, very beautiful car. I've seen 2 of them in person, and they're both very majestic in person. If you've ever seen them, they have this really, really cool thing on there. So it helps you do it. Helps you kind of do it there very, very well. So that's that. We want to make sure that we have that covered there. So we can see here that we've covered Lucid. Now let's go to the next one. I want to do AMD next because I know a lot of folks were asking about AMD. So let's go to AMD next. Are the AMD folks still here? I appreciate you guys if you are. Jay, I got Tesla down. It's on the list. We'll get there. So AMD, we discussed AMD last time too. As you can see here, it broke down And now it's kind of consolidating a little bit here. So let me draw some fibbies on this guy from the low point here to the high point here. This is a little thicker than I want it to be. Let me lock the figure so we have it for next time. Michael, I got you with Square. Square is next. We're going to do AMD, then we're going to do Square, and then we're going to do Shop. So we're going to be going in order. So I got to readjust my resistance trend line here to be able to kind of get it on par a little bit. It needs to adjust it. It's not clean from that point up here, but it's very, we got to play ball here a little bit. Okay. There we go. So if you look at this, you're right on. You've tested this resistance trend line twice now. You see this right here? We've tested this resistance trend line twice, no, 3 times. Well, no, more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This was 2 fails, 7 tests. We really need to break over this resistance trend line, which really, if you want to put it in the ballpark of where this would be, it would be around this level right here, which is at 90.69. So you need to break over that 90.69 to the upside to be able to get AMD to 92. If you can get up to 92, you got a clean path to 94, the 94 range, then 95.30. And then finally, this is going to be your big battle right here. Going from 95 to 97 is going to be a big battle. This fib level right here, this 96, it's going to be a big battle to be able to get over this huge volume wall. You're right now fighting this volume wall right here. It's a big one. If it can break over that, you're very quickly going to go to the upside. Now, if things get ugly, where do you watch to see if things start dropping on AMD? Is if you lose this 9 EMA here. This 9 EMA, which is right now sitting at 87.78. That goes, you're probably going to come quickly. Again, that's if this volume wall doesn't hold, and if you have a big sell-off, you're going to come to test 86, this $86 fib. If that goes, you're going to come and test the $84 range, which is around this volume wall and these points right here. You're going to test that, and if that goes, you don't have much support. You have a little bit of support here at the 82 and then 81.59. So that's AMD in a nutshell. No earnings for those boys this week. Did AMD report it already? How did AMD do? I'm blanking on how they did. I feel like AMD was one of the first ones that reported, if I'm not mistaken. AMD didn't report yet. Yes, AMD didn't report yet. I had a feeling they didn't report. Why is it saying they're reporting tomorrow? Something's off here. It's saying 5/8. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still on Lucid. Why is it still showing me Lucid? Doesn't make sense. Oh, there we go. Needed a refresh. Yeah, I don't know why it's still showing me Lucid. Something's wrong. Let me just refresh. I guess it's stuck. Oh, they did and they dropped. Yeah, I remember that. I remember they reported earnings already, but I don't know why the calendar tool. There it is. There we go. Yep. They dropped on EPS, but then they did I remember what happened. They reported they dropped, and then they said that they're doing a lot of extensive work in the AI field, and it got a massive run up. I remember that very clearly, and the reason I remember that is well, that's one of the reasons, and then the other reason is this thing right here. I can show you guys. This was one thing that we did on the day this happened. The bot alerted it, and the stock was kind of like flattish, and then it went zoom, and I was like, "Holy crap!" The bot caught that. I was like, "I hope people were able to catch that." And then Alpha Trade DM'd Alpha Trade right here. This guy, he was like, "Hey, I wish I would have caught that." I go, "Man, me too. Don't worry, there's always tomorrow." And then literally the next day, we got the results for the next day too, and it was like, "Holy crap, that's good too." That did good the next day as well. So I had 2 very good days, as we can see here. Did 2 very good days on AMD. So we got AMD to the upside, AMD to the downside. Break that trend line up here. Get us to 92. If it can't get over 92, you're probably going to get a few retests down to this range. But if the 90 EMA goes on the daily chart, you're probably going to come and visit the $86 range very quickly. And if that puppy goes, you have a path down to 84, then 83.60, and then 81.59. Again, not financial advice, not a fortune teller, just what I'm seeing and what I'm seeing. Next up is Squarespace. Let's do Square. After Square, I'm going to go off and I got to do Shop after Squarespace. If Armin is still here, let me know if you're still here, brother. After Square, we're going to do Shop. I know Square reported. I didn't get a chance to go dive deep into deep into Square's earnings per se, but I want to take a quickie looky over at that. I hope this works this time, and it didn't work. What the heck? What the heck, man? I got to refresh every time? That sucks. All right, it's okay. It's having a little technical difficulties. All right, there we go. Squarespace reported beat on EPS, beat on revenue, very good, but they fell. One of these guys they reported on 5/4, so the day before. So they reported here, but it looks like the market didn't like it. The market didn't like it. Why didn't the market like it? Let's see here why they didn't like it. 5/4 they reported after the close. Earnings conference call, new buy rating, so okay, guidance solid. They boosted guidance, they beat. Price targets were lowered. You had a few lowered price targets. Okay, that could be what have caused it. But I mean, when you have outlandish price targets and then you decide to lower them after an earnings beat, it's hilarious. Yeah, they took a massive dump. They took a really big drop here. Appreciate you, Armin. Thank you so much for being with us. So all right, let's do Square. Let's see how Square is doing. So Square right now is in a bearish rounding top pattern here. Take a look at this. Rounding top pattern. Now, a rounding top pattern usually comes down straight, but this is a bit of an unorthodox rounding pattern here. So I'm going to run fibs here. This is a tighter fib range than I usually like to do, but it's tight. Let's run with it. In order for Square to be able to make a path upwards, right, they're going to need a miracle. No, I'm just kidding. They don't need a miracle. They're going to need to break over 6186, and then they're going to need to get over this volume wall, which means you're going to need to break 6352. If you're able to break those two ranges, you begin to have a clean path up to then come to test 65 and this 50 EMA right here around 66. So it's going to have a path going there. Armin, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for showing love for the show. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. So that's for our path up for Square. You're going to need to break the 90 EMA. That's going to be a little tough, especially with the earnings. Even though the earnings beat, they're going to have a hard time because of the price target lowering. I think markets might come around to it eventually, especially that they boosted their guidance. It's really weird. On SQ, could it be due to option expiration? I don't think so, because it wasn't OPEX related to cause the drop due to that. I don't think that it was due to. We didn't have an OPEX on Friday that caused the drop. I think this was just the markets reacting negatively to all of these downgrades. Because remember, 70% of the stock market is traded on algos, and once algos catch bad news, they take news and they run it through a sentiment analyzer, and a sentiment analyzer will tell you if it's positive or negative, and then the stock will be purchased or sold or shorted or traded based off of that sentiment analyzer. And again, that's just one variation of an algorithm that's out there. I just want to, again, there's millions of variations of algorithms that are out there, but I think earnings were good on Square personally. I mean, who the hell would have expected them to beat? They beat by 6 cents on the EPS, which is good, and they beat by $390 million in revenue, just a hair short of $5 billion. Like, come on, bro. Like, we're in a recessionary environment. Why the heck is this considered bad? We'll see. This is actually a very good sign. By the way, we were discussing this earnings for PayPal, right? PayPal is after the close. I'm a shareholder in PayPal. This is actually a very good sign for PayPal, because if Square beat and Square isn't used as much as PayPal is, it's a good sign for PayPal. And another signal that you can kind of take a look to see how PayPal could do is if you look at eBay, right? eBay is one of PayPal's biggest partners. Again, I know I'm segueing. I'll segue back to Square in a second. Again, I'm just trying to teach you guys how I do comps on earnings. See, eBay beat, and they beat here. A double beat for eBay is very good. And it looks like they're seeing higher guidance as well. So that's actually a very good sign also. So that means PayPal should do decent as well. Square will probably see, if PayPal does well and PayPal starts to go up, Square could also get some love as well. But again, like CJ saying, the banking sector and the financial sector is taking a hit due to these regional bank failures and everything that's happening. That's the upside. But if Square loses this 5880 support, you're going to see it quickly come back down to the 5770 and then 5650. And then you start coming back down, and you're going to start testing these support levels down here around the 65, 66 range. So that's really what I'd be watching very closely on Square for a downside move. Again, PayPal's earnings, that's why I weaved it in. PayPal's earnings are going to dictate how Square moves. And if PayPal is able to beat and have a big jump on the parity sentiment, because they're parallel plays in the same sector, they both handle payment systems, you will probably see Square jump as well. So if you're I don't know what the IV on Square is right now. IV on Square is 50%, which is kind of fair for that play. If you're looking to take a gamble on earnings, PayPal is actually at 67%. It'll probably pop up tomorrow morning. But the IV has dropped enough on Square to make it viable enough to play again. But really, you're going to need to get over this 61.86 for a move back up. And you're going to want to make sure if you're looking for a place to short this thing or buy puts on it, you need to lose 58.80 for a move down. Michael says, I think it's going up. I don't see why not. I mean, they beat on earnings. They raised guidance. They have good outlook. I don't see why this happened, but it is what it is. What are you going to do? So that's Square in a nutshell. I hope that answered all your questions there. Next up, we're going to do Shop for my buddy Armin. And then after Shop, we're going to go to Tesla. I appreciate you, Rafik. Thank you so much for your kind words. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, it means a lot, brother. Thank you. That actually made me smile. All right, here we go. Let's run some new fibs on Shop. So this is the thing. This is another mini lesson that I want to teach you guys. So Shop right here had a big gap up, big gap up. And I don't remember I know they had earnings, but I don't think that's what caused the initial gap up. Initial gap up on Shop was 5.4 before market. So let me go to 5.4 pre-market. Unless they reported earnings earlier than was on the calendars. They did. See this? They reported earnings early. They were supposed to report earnings after close on a Thursday, but they beat us all to a punch early. So they beat on EPS. They beat very well, beat handsomely on revenue. Wow, okay, their GMV is up. Very nice. Any guidance? Any Q2s? No guidance issued, it seems like. No guidance. Okay, so Shop beat. Shop did very well, and they beat, and the stock pumped up, right? Pump it up, right? So what I want to do here is I need to look for a range on the daily chart where I can draw some fibs. And the reason you might be saying is, hey, why don't you just draw fibs from the low here to the high here? Well, I need a range, right? I need a range to be able to allow the stock to have both room upwards and downwards, right? And this is why I like to go back in time. So this is me cheating a little bit because I have this on my watch list as well, and I was charting it earlier today. I posted the watch list for the team, by the way. If you guys are here watching from the team, the watch list is posted. Let's go from here to here. It looks tight here, but watch when we scooch over. I need to move the axis labels because we're going to the other side. So let me switch it to top right. Okay, let me lock the figure because we're going to be moving around a lot here. I just can tell we're going to be moving around. So here's Shop till you drop. All right, there we go. So we catch the bottom of we catch a portion of, even here I'm not very happy. Oh, here we go. I know what I did wrong. I took my bottom half wrong. Swing high to swing low. This is what I did. All right, I'm gonna cheat to see what I did earlier because I spent a lot of time looking for the exact range that I wanted here, and I don't want to waste your guys' time by doing that again. And we're already having viewers drop off. Screw them. We're having fun. All right, so I'll take this range. Let's not waste too much time. Not a big deal. It is what it is. And I like this range a lot because it captures our gap. It captures our levels. The original range, excuse me, not the new one that I just drew. All right. Okay, third time's the charm. Swing low to swing high. There we go. Swing on over. Now, since we had this gap up, and this is a really big gap, right? I'm going to draw the gap. When gaps like this happen, I like to indicate them on the chart by just drawing some points to be able to, for me to see where the gap is from where to where. And I'm going to have it now switch to the top left side. Lock the figure, all time frames. Lock the figure. And there's an indicator for you to be able to find the gaps on all of them. It's called the gap finder. I like doing them manually myself because that's just how I am. So you have a gap from 47 to 53 with one tiny volume gap here, which funny enough lines up with our fib level at 51. So power of the fibs again. And we can see here that for us to be able to make our move upwards, you're going to really need to get over this high of the day on Friday. That's really your key range because if you look back here in the past, that's also a level that was on watch. So let me just zoom in a little bit for you to be able to see here. If we can get over this 62.90 range, Then we have a path at 264.50, and then we have a path upwards. You have some resistance here at 66.25. That's for your path up. That's for shop on the way up. Now, shop on the way down is a little bit more complex in this. So I want to go to the hourly chart for that because I need my EMAs to guide me. These EMAs are too far apart. They're providing me with too much guidance. We're out of range, essentially, for lack of a better way of putting it, that we're out of range. But we're still in a bit of a ballpark, right? Things are still okay. I'm just checking one thing on the side. Give me 1 second. Okay. I just want to make sure that everything is working. Okay, it is. Cool. Let's go to the hourly chart. All right. So if you want to path down, you're going to need to lose this 9 EMA if you're looking to short this thing for a path down. And you're not going to really get a quote-unquote massive short on this thing. Not a short. Like if you're looking to play puts, let's put it that way. If you're looking to play this to the downside with puts, you're going to need... Uh-oh, my computer froze. I don't know if I'm still live. Let's see. Can you guys still hear me? I think you guys can. Okay. To go to the downside, you're going to need to lose the 9 EMA for it to come down and then test 56. If 56 goes, you have a very quick path to 53. And if 53 goes, you're going to fairly quickly fill this gap. But you're going to have some support here on 51. So if 53 goes, it's a quick path to 51. If 51 goes, you're going to see some support you're going to probably see it catch at $49, and then come and fill the gap fully to 47 bucks there. So again, the bottom of the gap is obviously here, but it's a part of it kind of flicked up and caught it and did all that. So that is shop in a nutshell. I hope that answered the question, Armin. If you have any backup questions or follow-ups, let me know. Next up, I'm going to do Tesla. But before I do Tesla really quickly, CJ's been so kind to help with all the sidebar analysis and everything. So I want to do his stock that he asked for, which was Yeti. Fairly quickly, Yeti's going to be a quicker one to do than Tesla because I've seen the Tesla chart, and we're going to need to discuss that one a little bit more in depth. So let me do Yeti first, which I believe they have earnings as well, don't they? Yes, they do. Now I need to remember what Yeti does, actually. Yeti Holding Companies. So Yeti is a designer, marketer, and distributor of premium products for outdoor recreation and markets sold under the Yeti brand. The company offers products such as coolers, equipment, drinkable. Okay, cool. So it's essentially camping play, outdoor play. Very nice. And we know they've got earnings coming up. So let's see calendar. We have estimates. They're estimated to do not so great on the EPS front. That's okay. And not so great on the revenue front. That's not looking good. So let's see. Let's go to Yeti. I don't want to see the implied move. Glorified thermoses. I remember who these guys are now. I've seen them. Yes, I know who these guys are. 10% implied move. Holy cannoli. All right, let's see. Glorified thermoses. I can already tell that the bias here is my boy CJ wants to short this sucker on earnings. Let me know. I have a feeling. Let me know. Let me know in the chat. You guys ever watch those? Sometimes I'll catch like clips of a live stream or something like on an Instagram reel or a TikTok. And everyone goes when they're talking to the chat, they're like, hey chat, what are we going to do? Chat. What the heck? Like these people have names. Like I hate when they go, hey chat, let us know what you think. I just don't like that. That's why I like calling you guys by your names. And the cool thing is I can see your names. I can talk to you directly, but I hate when people go, hey chat, what should we do? Chat. So I hate that. CJ, yeah, buddy, are you, you asked for Yeti. I was just curious as to what you're, because you said that you called them glorified thermoses. I guess I'm assuming you're looking to short this sucker into earnings. Is that true? If not, no big deal. And if you don't want to share, you don't have to share. I'm just making fun conversation. Okay. I'm just checking something on the side to make sure that this thing is moving. All right, cool. We're still in business. I had to check one thing to make sure it wasn't messed up. All right, let me send this to my buddy before he gives me shit for it. All right, cool. That's a yes. I knew it. I could tell the second he said like they make really good thermoses, I would have been like, this guy's looking for a pump. But I see what you mean. All right. So we can already see here right off the bat, we've got some top wick action. The top wicks are going. Top wicks are chugging, which means you have some selling pressure, but you're also in an uptrend. You can't ignore the uptrend. You can't fight the trend, right? We've discussed this on the streams together. This is a speaker, by the way. We've discussed these on the streams together that you can't fight an uptrend, but you can see that you are in a channel. So let's draw this channel out really quickly together as a team. There we go. And then we got the other side. There we go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Don't worry. I'm going to clean it up. Oh, this is not a channel, actually. See, this is what happens. And you start drawing it, and you think it's one thing, and then it turns out to be another thing. So if you use the body of the candles, right, you don't use the top wicks. Some people do that. Some people will draw with just the body of the candle. Some people will use the wicks. Some people will just be like, no, I'm doing both. I'm seeing more of a rising wedge forming here. If we take this and we extend it out, I can see this forming a rising wedge. Again, forgive the fact that I left out the wicks. I like to have the wicks in my analysis. Always tend to like to have the wicks there. But I'm seeing somewhat of a rising wedge forming, which is bearish. But again, earnings can destroy technical analysis in one shot. These guys come in and say, bam, I think we sold $1 billion of glorified thermoses. The stock can jump, right? So we need to follow the technicals here. So let me just erase these. We can see we have our support line. So for a move up, you're going to need to break this volume wall. Now, this is a lower volume stock, right? We can see here that this is a lower float, lower volume stock, the 50-day moving average. Oh, I don't need that. I need the volume. Tell me the average volume session is not even 1 million. It's about 700,000 volume, which is not too much. It's not too much volume, but which kind of deters me. I don't know if this is optionable. And if it is, that makes the options very dangerous. It is optionable, but volume is kind of dead on the options chains. The volume is dead on the options chains. I'd say be very careful if you're looking to options short this one right off the bat. But in order to go upwards, you're going to need to break over this $44 range, and then you're going to probably come and test the 44, excuse me, let me just get a better view. This 44.70 range, and then you're going to meet this $45 level. That's to the upside. But this is where the party starts. If you lose this trend line, you're going to probably come down and quickly test this 42. Oh, I knew I should have locked this thing. Though I knew all night we were doing such a good job. I had my fibs locked. Everything was going good. And then I went and I forgot to lock one. And I think it's because I was having so much fun with the glorified thermos talk. All right. We lose the trend line. We're going to probably come and test this $42 support range, which is very close to this volume wall, and very close to our fib level, this 50% fib. We discussed it a little bit earlier in the stream. If you lose the 50% fib level, you do have some support here on the 9 EMA, which could catch it. But if that breaks, that's going to be a big telling point where the trend is starting to reverse to the downside, and you're going to come and test this $40 range parallel to the 50 EMA and your 200 MA. You do have a golden cross here, which tends to be a lagging indicator for a massive move that comes in, but sometimes algorithms will pick that up and treat it as bullish, hence why you probably saw some bullish activity here, and then people sold it off. Warning to you, my brother CJ, is this is a lower float stock. Be very, very, very careful with it when you're trading it, because it can be a widow maker, especially with lower volume on the lower volume on the options chains. You have a massive spread, and since you have a massive spread, it can cause a lot of problems both getting into the stock and getting out of the stock. So I just want to heed you that warning as a friend. My pleasure. I wanted to quickly give you guys a reminder if you're still here with us. I appreciate you guys. I know CPI is this week, so I want to quickly remind you guys that if you haven't yet, again, you're here with us, obviously, but at the end of the video, I highly suggest you guys watch this CPI video that we created. It'll prepare you for the CPI event, plus some analysis on how the markets will react to the CPI. I've been very accurate with the CPI analysis that I've put out to date so far, thank God. Check that out there. If you're looking to learn about all the stuff that I'm doing here, be a part of our trading team. I've showed you guys the results. I post these results daily on Twitter. You can check them out there if you want more proof. You can see this is the day, where'd the bot go? There we go. This is the trading bots results from Cinco de Mayo. I believe this is from, I have to double check to see if I've uploaded the right image, because 5.4, the font on this is different from the computer that I use. But again, this is an analysis from 5.4 or 5.5. It's one of those 2 days. And you can see here, I provide a ton of value for them. There's a ton of learning material there. Join us there. I believe there's only like 3 or 4 slots left for this month. The link for that is also here at discord.ryanstock.com. It's a tax write-off. There's a ton of value, and you'll be trading with a trading team that puts your education first. Allow us to be a part of your trading journey and learn with you. Come join us over there. Invest in yourself. Stop trying to do this alone on your own. And if you're having a hard time, if you're struggling, this is the place to go. This is very different from any other Discord or trading environment you have joined. I promise you that there will be some sort of value for you there. And if not, you can ask and we'll do it. And if you have questions before joining, DM me on Twitter. My DMs are open. The link for my Twitter is right here. Ask any questions you like before joining. I'll be more than happy to provide them. All right. Next off is Tesla. A few guys were asking for Tesla. KWODWO, I see you with IBRX, GMDA, and SPRO. I'll put those down, but we are running light on time. Let's see, because I still have to do Fiverr. I have SoFi and Tesla. These are the 3 that I have right now, and IEP as well. I have these 4. If I get time, I will hit those as well, but we're running low and I got stuff to do. But if you guys are still here, I appreciate you guys smashing the like button, still being here with us. It means a lot. Thank you so much. If you can watch that CPI video, it'll mean a lot to me. Subscribe to my channel over there. I'm trying to grow a YouTube channel there. It'll help a lot and significantly, and it is a ton of value again. Let's do it. Let's go to Tesla. I know this one's going to take some time to do, but I want to make sure that I cover everything with you. Oh, actually, no. Tesla's actually pretty straightforward tonight. What was I thinking? Take a look at this. This is our daily chart on Tesla. Tesla took a bit of a gap down on earnings, and then everyone else saw Ford's earnings and GM's earnings and went, holy crap, Tesla's earnings aren't as bad as we thought they were. And we began a recovery. We broke the 90 EMA and had a massive day, massive day on Friday for Tesla. And I think that we are within range to fill this gap if we can get over this fib level. If we can get over this 170, we have to break the high of Friday in order to get to 173. If we can get over 173, we test this 176.59, which is parallel to our 50 EMA. If we can get over that puppy, things will start getting juicier for us. So things will get us to fill this gap. We can be able to fill this gap. And I think the next big resistance area for this, which is around where we had a lot of resistance last time and some consolidation, is this 180 to 182 range. Right, this can give us some consolidation here. It can bring us to consolidation, but we've seen once it can get over that range, you get breakouts to the upside. So that's really nice. Dario says, I'm waiting for the 10th to enter Tesla. Interesting. Why the 10th? Just out of curiosity, would love to know why the 10th. But that's our path to the upside. But path to the downside, we're going to have to go to the hourly chart. Since we had such a massive day and the 90 EMA is so much lower, if we're looking for a short-term entry range for puts, we're going to go to the 1 hour chart to see what it is. And for me, that would be losing the 9 exponential moving average and losing this 166 range consecutively. After that would be giving me full confidence that we have the ability to come and then test this 164, which is right on par with our 50 EMA. And if that goes, we come down and we fill this little mini gap. You can see we had a little gap up on Friday. Take a look at this. You might have not seen that on the daily chart because it was so small. But we've got a tiny, come on. Why is this? Why does it do that? I don't know why it does that. That's weird. We have a gap from 161.83 to 163.51. So if the 2 EMAs go, you fill the gap to the downside. If you can break the 9 EMA, we broke the 9 EMA on the daily chart. If you can break the high of the day and then 163 and then 172.20 something range there, and then the 50 EMA, you could break up and fill this gap right here, and then your big volume, then your big resistance becomes from 181 to 186 range. You're going to see consolidation there, and then your next big one will be this volume wall right here. See this puppy right here around the 197 range, the $200 range. But again, it's going to take some time to get there. You're going to have to be patient with Tesla. We're still in a highly compressed stock market environment. Excuse the coughing, but we'll see. I have a timeline waiting for it to set up. All right. Dario, glad to hear that. So that's Tesla. I hope that answers it for the Tesla folks out there. Appreciate you guys for being here with us. What are we at on a like count? We're on 59 likes. Can we get to 69 likes for the LOLs and memes? If not, no big deal. And if you're curious, yes, I did like the stream myself as well. I closed at 169.99999 on Friday. What a close. That's so funny. Wait, why is it showing us? What is going on here? What do we, okay, so it's rounding up a little bit, but why is it showing me up here in my tab? It's showing me 169.99. All right, whatever. Doesn't matter. Not important. All right. Next up, we have SoFi and then IEP. Excuse me, SoFi. Actually, we did one of Negam's already. So let me do Fiverr. Dario, are you still here with us, buddy? I'd love to know if you're still here. If you're here, we'll do Fiverr. And then after Fiverr, we'll do SoFi and IEP. And cool KWODWO, really cool name. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. Quoduo. If you're still here, we'll pick one of those three, and we'll do that one before we call it a night. But we're still gonna be churning some of these out. Still gonna be rocking out here. All right. Let's see what we can do. Perfect. These guys are still here. All right, let's do Fiverr. Fiverr's got earnings. I posted the earnings calendar on my Twitter. By the way, if you guys aren't following me on Twitter, let me just drop the link in the chat for you guys for the Twitter. No, that's Twitter Live. That's the Twitter feed. Let me drop the link in the chat for you guys to follow me on Twitter. If you haven't, I would appreciate you guys to come on board, follow me there too. Love having people. I just crossed 24,000 followers. Thank you so much. Holy crap, I didn't notice that. Thank you. That's awesome. If you guys want to follow me there, I'd appreciate it. Let's see what the implied move on Fiverr is. Now, the reason I said Fiverr is a funny story is because in college, I had a startup that revolved around the world of, what is it called? What is that thing called? Gig work, right? Gig-based work for college students. So Fiverr is a company that I studied extensively during that time because we were running comps on valuations and stuff like that to run valuations for the startup. So that is one funny thing. And if you're curious as to what happened with that startup, NYU stole it. Allegedly. I have to say allegedly for legal reasons, but 17% implied move there on Fiverr. And let's see what the comps, there are no comps that I can look at that are publicly traded, unfortunately, because I know it's Fiverr, and then there's another company, but they're not traded. Fiverr, I believe, is out of Israel, is an Israeli-based company. I don't think they're in the U.S., but I know they operate in the U.S. Calendar. Okay, so they're actually set to do better than last quarter. And yeah, it looks like last quarter was on par with last year, but they're set to do better than last year and last quarter in terms of revenue. So Fiverr could have a nice move if things go well for it, if comps are good. Let me see if there's any news media out there about it. Let me just take a swig of water. Give me 1 second. Sorry, my throat gets dry, and I try not to drink or eat during the streams because I don't want to do that. But sometimes, man, your throat gets dry. You've been talking for an hour and 20. Woo, your throat gets dry, pops. It gets dry. We hit 60 likes. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. Love you, love you, love you, love you. And thank you guys for the folks that are following on Twitter. I appreciate you guys so much. It means a lot. A ton of value is provided there as well. Let's get to Fiverr. Why didn't they do FIVR? That's such a better ticker. It's an ETF. That's why they can't do it. Someone has it already. Fiverr. Ooh, okay. It's full transparency. I haven't looked at this stock or this company. Oh my goodness, this thing took a beating. What the hell? This thing during COVID was a $280, $300 stock at a point. Wow. Okay. Ooh, you guys seen it down? This looks like a Peloton or a Coinbase or something like that. This puppy took a hit. Rudy, I really hope you don't own this as a holding and you're just looking to trade it because I this thing's ugly. This thing's an ugly chart. But I don't have fibs. I don't have a range to draw fibs for. Let me go to something like a monthly chart, see if I can go back in time. Okay. So let me see what I can do from here. This is a low of 17. What is the low here? Of 26. All right. Let me see. If I go from 26 to 35, what is the high here? It's 26. You guys see what I'm doing here? I'm looking for a comparable range in the past to draw my fibs. Now, I know it's a little harder to see because... there we go. Okay. For some reason, it's giving me a lot of I know there's no data past then, but give me some white space back there or something that I can kind of hover over. All right. So I'm going to take it from the low here. It'll translate over to the high here of 35.13. So let me just make sure this is locked on all time frames. I'm going to need them on the top right. Move it over, go to the daily chart, and boom, take a look at this. All right, so we can clearly see that our range is a little too low, so I'm going to need to go back and adjust. See, this is the beauty of technical analysis. You come back, you go forth, you go in, day trade, LOL, looking to get in. Gotcha, perfect. All right, thank God. I was like, I don't want my buddy taking a beating on this thing. I hope he's not holding it in his portfolio because this thing took a beating, and I don't like when my friends lose money in the stock market. Daily chart. There we go. All right, this is good enough. This is good enough on the fibs. All right, and look, it's a parallel to a fib range here. So it's 27. I see. Here we go. It has, yeah. See, it has a chance to shoot for the star. I agree with you, CJ. It has a chance to go up if things go well for this in terms of earnings. And when are earnings again? Earnings for Fiverr are right here on Thursday before market open. So this is the cool thing. This is the fantastic opportunity when earnings are before market open. It allows you to play the reaction to it if you don't want to play it before. And I need to check the options chains on Fiverr before we keep going, because I want to make sure it's even optionable. It is optionable. Cool. The chains have decent volume, but the IV is very high. You're looking at 120% IV. And these are just monthly, so you don't have weekly, so that helps a little bit. But volume is still very low on it. It's 85 volume on the $4 call, so you might be able to play the reaction. There's a $10 spread on it, which I'm not too crazy about, but it's there. So Fiverr, okay, let's see. So Fiverr, let's say you're looking to play the reaction, right? We're looking to play the reaction. If you lose 26.20, this thing's got a clean path, essentially nothing there to save this sucker, down to 22.65 or even lower to 17, right? You have a little bit of support here, but you can see here, once the bottom starts giving out, once this thing starts losing wind, we can go to the weekly to see it there even. You can see here, like, come on, give me some juice, man. Hey. Yeah, this is so funny because we're looking at 2020 levels now. That's the thing. Sometimes you got to go back in time. See, if this level goes, this 27 goes, you have a little bit of support here back in 2020 at the $25 range. $25 range goes, your next support lines up with the fib at 22.65. Then you have some support here at the $20 range. Nice round number, $20.50 range. That goes, you have some support down here at 19.15, and then it comes straight down to 17, and you get to all-time lows. But if things start getting good, things start getting juicy, things start moving, you can easily come and test. You can easily come. I need to go to the daily chart now, and to be more appropriate with what I say, you'll be able to quickly come and get over. If you earnings beat and you get a pop, the first level I'd be looking to for a breakthrough is this 80.83, this 9 EMA on the daily chart. And then the next big one, this is your big battle zone. This is your battle zone, lines up with the volume wall, bada bing, bada boom. It's full-on karate moves right here. Is you're going to want to get over this $35 range. 35 goes, you have a clean path to 37. The 36.87. 36.87 goes, you have a clean path to 38.50. 38.50 goes, you got a clean path to 40 to the upside. But again, you need volume, you need earnings to do good to go up. Earnings are bad, you're coming down. Fairly straightforward. And the beauty is this is before market open, so markets will react with you in line, in time with this. But one warning that I will heed you is make sure to wait for that implied volatility to drop. You have an implied move of 17%, which means that if you don't get around or at that implied move, volatility will compress. Wait for the volatility to compress, and then trade the reaction off of that volatility compression, okay? All right, so that is Fiverr. Next up is SoFi. Nigam, are you still here with us for SoFi? If not, I'm going to go to IEP. Let me know. The gentleman who asked for IEP, are you here? Because we had a big drop in listeners and viewers. I don't know where they went. What could be more important than this? I'm just being sarcastic. My pleasure, Rudy. I don't think Nigam's here anymore. Okay, Nigam's not here anymore. Chris, are you here for IEP? Chris, you still with us for IEP? If not, we're going to cross those both out. Okay, they're not here. Medi-Cal wants SoFi. All right, let's do SoFi. Medi-Cal here wants SoFi. Let's do SoFi. Lines up with what the other gentleman wanted, but he's not here. Bummer. You're lost, dude. I'm just messing. All right, let's draw some fibs. SoFi took a hit on earnings. Cool. Kudo, awesome. We'll do yours. We'll do yours. IT King, I have you for Apple as well. IT King, don't worry, I got you. Kudo, do me a favor, pick one of those 3 tickers, and we'll do that one. We'll do one of those 3. So pick one, drop it in. So we'll do that one. So the chain of operations will be SoFi right now, Kudo's ticker, and then IT King's ticker, which was Apple. So we got these 3 for closing. I do also see Mullen Patrick asking for Mullen Patrick. If you're still here, let me know. So we got these 4. So let me know. I'm going to do SoFi. You guys confirm in the chat while I do SoFi, and let's get going. SoFi dropped significantly because of one simple thing. The volume on their loans for student loans and personal loans took a massive drop. And since that happened, the market said, we're going to punish you, SoFi. And I'm going to be doing a full video on SoFi. It'll be available for Patreon members. It'll be available for Twitter subscribers. I've decided the earnings videos don't get too many views on YouTube directly. So I'm going to make it available to those guys exclusively because they ask for it. So I think that's the biggest reason that caused the drop in SoFi. And I still believe SoFi is a fantastic company. I own the company. I think it's really, really good. And I think it's got a lot of potential for upward movement. They've been killing it on earnings. They've been beating guidance. They've been raising guidance, but the markets don't show it any respect. But we'll do the chart anyway. Let's draw some fibs. Heartbreaker, though, man. Heartbreaker. Double beat, raised guidance. Everything in the books were saying up, 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 except that one factor. And that's the thing, folks. Sometimes the headline numbers are beautiful. They're sexy. Things are moving along. Things are getting where they need to go. Things are zooming, bing, bang, booming. But they do not result in what we want because of one factor. SoFi, in order to come and make its move up, needs to break this 9 EMA around 553, which lines up around with our 533 level. 534 needs to break, which is our 9 EMA, parallel to this fib level. Next battle zone will be this 556 and then 580. These are our 3 big levels for it to break up, and then it can start making its path to $6, right? I like this company when it's under $5. It's a buy for me under $5. Personally, not financial advice. It's just for me personally, just one guy, one dude on the internet, just my personal opinion. I like it under 5 for a buy and hodl. This thing has a lot of potential. Again, I think the market's overreacted and beat it down for no reason, which gives it some potential for an upward momentum move. If things go well, again, not saying that they will guarantee go up, but just personal opinion, needs to break the 9 EMA, then 556, and then the 50 EMA, or then 580, and then you will have some resistance at 590, as we've seen in the past here. The 590 to $6 range, you'll have some resistance, and then 612 is next. And then 629, the 630, which lines up with our volume wall, and then 650. It's going to take some time to get there, unless you have some big catalytic event. One good sign is the CEO bought even more shares, so that's that. For a move to the downside on SoFi, breaks my heart to do a technical analysis for the downside on SoFi, but you got to do what you got to do. You got to respect the trend lines. This trend line breaks, you're going to probably see this sucker come back down and test the $5 range. So essentially, you lose this trend line. Let me go to the hourly chart. It's a little bit cleaner if we go to the hourly chart, get us a more zoomed in time frame. If you lose this 9 EMA, essentially, if you lose $5, you're probably going to come and test this. It's funny. This is a penny stock, so you got to. It's funny to go. If you lose 505, you're going to go to 502, so on and so forth, right? Because you're talking pennies on the dollar. If you lose this 9 EMA, you're going to come and test 499 range. 499 range goes, this little gap up will fill, so you'll probably get quickly to 492. And then you'll probably, if this range kind of gives out, you have some stair steps down to 475, 469, and then 459. Up top, you're on a smaller time frame, you're going to want to break 524, then 533 to fill the gap upwards. You can see you're going to have a little bit of blips. It's not going to be a straightforward gap fill. And then you're going to get to 556. And I moved the fibs, didn't I? I did. But we're not going to acknowledge that. We're going to pretend I didn't do that. We're going to pretend I did this in the beginning. So don't judge me for it. We break this 539. Then we come to this. We fill this gap to the upside. You have a little bit of a volume wall here. Again, this is a stock. It needs the juice, needs the vol to get there. Then 557, then 573, which is our 200 MA here. And then you have a path to the upside there. So that's SoFi in a nutshell. Nigam, you saw that? We did SoFi. Rewind if you missed it. We just did SoFi and we did Tesla. So I'm glad you're here. Love you, buddy. Thank you for coming here. Appreciate you. All right, so we did SoFi. Next up, I have IT King is here. Kudo is here. Chris never confirmed for Chris never confirmed for IEP, so that's off the list. So let's do Kudos, ticker GMDA. I've never heard of GMDA. Gamma DSL. Okay, BioPlay. That's why. I don't touch the bio stocks. I don't touch the bio stocks because they're dangerous. They're widow makers. Stock riders on healthcare sector. GMDA is a buy in biotechnical sector, down 2.44% pre-market. GMDA 4. So this is a filing for the insiders getting some shares. All right. This thing's been getting beat up. Looks like I was behind. Might have. That's why, Negam. I was wondering where you were. Patrick, you're still here. I got you for Mullen, brother. Don't worry. It's on the list. So I got app. So right now we're doing Kuduos. I apologize again if I'm mispronouncing GMDA. Then we're going to do Apple, and then we're going to do Mullen. So that's what we have in order of operations. Guys, do me a solid. Smash that like button if you haven't. I really want to close this out at 69 likes. We're literally 7 away. If we can get that, that'd be cool. If you haven't already, make sure to queue up that CPI video to watch it after this stream comes up. It'll mean a lot to me if you guys watch that. Subscribe to my channel over there. It's a big deal to me. And if you guys could do me another solid, follow on Twitter. I got a ton of value coming out every single day on Twitter. The second CPI comes out, all these earnings reports that come out, the Benzinga tool is very fast for posting and giving me the results. So I'm very quickly on posting them. As I told you guys, a little anecdote. One of my buddies has a Bloomberg terminal, and him and I are literally beating each other by 1 to 2 seconds by posting data. So it's very good. And if you guys want, you can sign up for the Benzinga Pro tool if you guys want. I have the link in my the link in the description here isn't going to give you it's going to give you like a code, but I think my code's better because that code is temporary. If you go to ryanstocks.com, the link down there, I have a code for Benzinga for 30% off. So my code's for 30% off. So if you guys want, you can use my code RyanR. It's still active for 30% off forever. It's not temporary. Some people think it's temporary. It's not. It's forever. Other codes are temporary. I fought for this code for 30% off. Sign up if you guys want. Use this. Also, you can take the trial with this as well if you guys want to. That's available for you as well. If you guys look on here, all my stuff. If you guys want a tool that I'm using, I'm charting on TrendSpider. I use Unusual Whales for flow data and the earnings data. I've got promo codes for you there. I need to update this. I got to get rid of the crypto stuff there because I'm not too happy with them. But if you guys want to join our trading team, it's right here. Click it, join it. We'd love you to join us here. Patrick says I would hit it like 20 times if it would let me. I appreciate you so much, Patrick. Man, thank you so much, brother. Yeah. One more time, roundhouse this thing. Join our trading team. Results are here. Results are posted daily on Twitter. If you have any questions before joining the trading team, you can ask me on Twitter, which is linked right here. My YouTube, the new YouTube videos will always be here. Click that thing. Watch that CPI video. Make me happy. I worked really hard on it. If you guys want flow data, if you guys want charting data, if you guys want some stock data, bar charts there. Benzinga Pro, very good tool for earnings data and any kind of news data. It's really freaking fast. It doesn't cost you what a Bloomberg terminal does, which is $2,500, and it's almost as fast as a Bloomberg terminal. All right, let's do GMDA. Sorry for all the plugs, but I got to get some plugs in. I've been here for an hour and 36 minutes. I want to get some plugs in, and that doesn't include the prep time that I was doing before when we had some technical difficulties. All right. GMDA. Interesting setup. Very clean setup. Respects the fibs. The EMAs respect the fibs. It is a fun one here. Now, this is the thing. I don't know much about this company. I don't know much about biostocks. I'm just going to chart this plainly off of technical analysis as if I was someone that's coming to this and just looking at a chart on an exam and it's telling me like, hey, what do you think is going to happen? So right off the bat, I'm seeing a trend line. And we're going to be moving around a lot, so I need to lock this figure because if I don't, I'm going to drive myself crazy. So let's draw this line here, and I'm going to change this from yellow to green, because that's our support line. That's too dark. I need like a lighter green to be able to see. So we have our support trend line here, and we have our resistance trend line here. And we're going to turn that guy red. So we're automatically in a we can see here we're in a symmetrical triangle that's off of a, what do you call it? A downtrend, an uptrend. So a resistance triangle off of an uptrend tends to be bullish, right? And you can see here that it's attempting to make breakouts. It's fighting this 200 MA here on the daily chart. If you can break over this 200 MA on the daily chart, your next big battle is going to be at 183.30. If it can break over this, you have a bit of a breakout move. You can see a breakout move possibly happen to this, and it can probably go and test the $2 range and then the $2.20 range here for GMDA. Now, this is a bio stock, so if any news comes out that is negative, you will see a downside move fairly quickly, and recursively, see any positive news, you'll see an upside move very, very quickly. So just want you to kind of keep that in the back of your heads as we're going through this kind of this situation here together with GMDA, is that this is a bio stock. And just like any other stock, but just that bio stocks tend to be a little bit more volatile than anything else out there, because I've seen a lot of people get wrecked on bio stocks. So that's kind of my warning to you. To the downside. Now we want to discuss the downside, because we always discuss both sides of the equation. If you lose the 9 EMA, you're probably going to come quickly and test 153.30. They'll probably go at the same exact time. They're literally a few cents away from each, 5 cents off of each other. If that goes, you're probably going to come and test some support. As you can see here, there's some support, a little bit of support, and you have this volume wall right here that might catch it. Not 100% confident that it will, but it could catch it here at the 147.5. If that goes, you have a little bit of support here at the 140 range. If that goes, you're coming to this fib and 50 EMA here at the 170 range, 137 and 134.5 range here. If that goes, you're probably within a drop range, right? Because there's no volume walls to catch you. You've got a little bit of support here at 126. That could catch you and bounce you. But again, you really need to make sure to hold this 9 EMA, especially if you're looking for a move to the upside. Kudo, I'm not sure what move you're looking for on this, but I just say watch the charts, watch this triangle, watch these trend lines here. They will set the path for you for both the upside and the downside, depending on how you're playing this. Now, this is a penny stock. I always advise against trading penny stocks on options. Even though it has options, I would highly advise against it, especially because there's almost no volume on these. And this is a penny stock, and it's a low float, and it's a bio play, so it's like Widowmaker 101. Options are dirt cheap on this one. They're like $5. Maybe if you want to gamble, you can go for it, but I still, if a friend was asking me, I would say don't touch this thing. And I consider you guys friends, so I'm suggesting don't touch it. Again, not a financial advisor, just my personal opinion as an educator. As in, again, all this is a hypothetical example for education purposes only, yada, yada. All right. Next off, we have Mullen and then Apple. Let's go. Let's do this. I see Will's asking for AAL. All right. I'm going to have to cut the queue here at AAL, okay? Because I've got a lot of work to do for the team. I have a few stuff that I need to finish for the team and get out to them. If you haven't joined the team, I highly suggest you do. If you're looking to learn this stuff of what I'm doing, you see how fast I'm doing this? I've created learning material in the team that will allow you to learn this stuff very quickly. Look, and I'm not just saying that. I created material such that you can watch it, you can learn from it very quickly, and do this stuff. They're literally 5-6 minute videos, and they've been able to pump out very, very good traders that have watched these videos. So I highly suggest you guys join. Ton of value provided to you, and you'll be a part of our trading team that gets a ton of value, ton of cool stuff. Hey, Ryan, I need the chart for MMDA or whatever the hell you want. I got you, bro. Boom, you get it. So that's just some of the perks of being on the team. It's very different from any other trading team. It's not an alert farm. It's meant to help you become a self-sufficient learning trader. It's a nice, healthy environment. No BS, none of that crazy stuff like other places have. It's a small environment on purpose. It's kind of condensed to certain people because, again, I only tell certain people about it. I only let a certain number of people in because I want to make sure that we have a healthy, good group of people who will come and learn together so we can learn, and hence why it's called Trading Together Academy. You come, you learn, you trade, you have fun, and then you go on with your life. So let's do Mullen. Now, I know Mullen had some bad news of a reverse split last week, which caused a big drop. Now, I'm curious as to when I drew this 13-cent line on this thing, and I'm also where this even came from. So let me pop this off. This is really hard to do, right? Okay. So this is an all-time low. So I can't fib this. I can't draw Fibonacci's on this because I don't have a lower bound. It's been in a straight downtrend. I need to double check the news on this one. Was it a 10-to-1 reverse split? Listen to Nigam. Nigam is one of our students. He's had such tremendous progress. I'm so proud of Nigam. He's saying it's the best team in the world. Negan, I'm so proud of you and the progress you've made. And I appreciate you trusting me on your trading journey and being a part of our team on our trading journey together. So, and thank you so much for the kind words and the testimonial. So I need to adjust my view here so you guys can see what's going on a little bit better. So Mullen had some news on a reverse split, I believe. So let me check SEC filing. So that would be an 8K. Yep, see this 8K. The company issues 2 class number of shares. Okay, reverse stock split. Okay, so they're not complying. So they're doing a 1-for-25 reverse stock split, which means 25 shares of the stock will be combined into 1 share. The hope is obviously to reduce their float and become compliant. The stock is right now trading at $1.57. A reverse split is yeah, thank you so much, Patrick. Thank you. Patrick's coming in with the side up. A reverse split tends to be bearish because the reason they're doing a reverse. All right, so sometimes you do a reverse split and you do it to reduce your float, and that's completely fine. That doesn't intend anything bad. It's actually normal, right? And again, it's not a change, right? This is the thing: a reverse split or a split, the same thing. It changes nothing. Market cap remains the same. The number of shares adjusts, but you're also adjusting all the other metrics to be on par, right? So the stock price is not going to 25x. The shares are going to compress 25 into 1. Market cap remains the same, which means the value of the company remains the same. The reason this is looked at as negatively here, or it can be perceived as negatively, is because they're doing it because they're afraid they're going to lose their $1 minimum compliancy metric by the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ states that your stock needs to be over $1 for 30 consecutive days, or you risk being delisted to the OTC markets, right? So these guys are being preemptive. They have been, unfortunately, on a bit of a bad luck trend. They haven't gone under $1 ever. So again, it might be a little bit preemptive. Maybe they're worried. Maybe there's some earnings coming up. I'm not sure when Mullen's doing their earnings, but let's check. Mullen's earnings are actually this week, it says. 35% implied move. So that, again, that's a bad sign to me that you're doing a reverse split before earnings. What the heck? That's kind of scary for me. Again, like, I'm not a shareholder in this company, but to me, that worries me a little bit because it's a sign. Okay, so you got 2 different dates. Oh no, sorry. Down here, I have to look. This one's saying 5/19, but I've got on unusual whales for 5/9, which is actually in 2 days, but it's not on the calendar. Is it on the calendar? Tomorrow is the 8th, and this is the 9th. Mullen's not on this calendar, but again, this calendar doesn't encompass everything, but I'd imagine this would be here. Let me see if Benzinga Pro. And I'm sorry I'm taking a little bit longer on this one because I want to make sure that I can kind of give you my constructive thought. Mullen Army is betting on the next meme stock. Okay. Shares available to short. Okay. That's the reverse. Is this the reverse split 8K? Yeah, it is. The 21 to 25 reverse split effective. Okay, so they're doing the... Okay, so the split happened. Oh, that might be why. Effective May 4th. So on the 5th, this opened up in reverse. Okay, so I need to check Webull. So Webull gives me the pre-split look on it. If I go to chart settings, actual. Okay, all right. I see what happened. All right, I got tricked. Mullen was trading at 8 cents. This is a post-reverse split price action for Thursday and Friday. Makes more sense. Mullen was on the day 8 behind 10. Okay, there you go. Thank you so much, Patrick. Sorry, I was confused. I thought that the reverse split hadn't happened yet. Reverse split happened on Thursday. Okay, I wish they would have done a heavier reverse split then, because right now they're at $1. Usually a reverse split, when they do a reverse split, you want to kind of throw yourself in the $5 to $10 range to give you a buffer just in case, God forbid, you come down more. I would have done a 50 to 1 reverse split, but maybe they don't have enough shares to do that, because even right now your float's operating at 144 million. But you could have done like a 30 or 40 reverse split, because that means the operating float preemptive to this was 144 650,123 times 25. So it was a 316 billion. What is this? 1 comma 2 comma 3.6 billion float. I would have personally done like a 50 reverse split, and yeah, you would have been at like a 7 million float. So you'd put the stock at a micro. You'd be at 70. It's healthy. They should have done a 50 to 1. Should have done a 50-to-1 reverse split, in my opinion. Would have put the stock at a healthy 73 million free float. Would have given them a nice buffer. The stock price would have been around 3, giving them a buffer in case earnings don't come out as high as expected. That's what I would have personally done. Again, just me if I was on the other end. But I guess the thing is, the higher the reverse split, the less confidence it portrays, unfortunately, to shareholders. But personally, I think that it's more of like, hey, this is still a company that's in the growing stages. It's still in the startup stage. Same thing, same way Lucid is, same way Fisker is, same way Nikola is. So let's take a look at the chart. So this is the thing. We don't have much to go off of. I think I need to go to Webull in order to do this chart for you guys. So give me 1 second to load up Webull, because TrendSpider has adjusted for this. Okay, yeah, let me go to... This sucks because they haven't adjusted the tail end of their stuff yet for the reverse split. So let me just stop sharing for a second, and then let me go to Webull. All right, let me just log out so my information doesn't pop up, God forbid. All right, let me screen share again. Screen share Le Webull. By the way, if you guys want, you can sign up for Webull with my link down below with 2 free stocks. If you sign up now, just a little fun plug. If you guys remember, if you guys were in the world of FinTwit back in the day when this first started, that Webull was like the premier affiliate thing. So I just want to show you guys, if you look here, this is where the reverse split happened. They were trading at about a low of 6 cents. Reverse split it all the way up times 25. They popped up off of that. So now you go to adjust it and adjust the whole chart for that range. So now I can kind of build a fib range around this. So, okay, this is going to be a little bit difficult because we are dealing with a range that is a little bit out of bounds because it's never been this low. But I'm going to try to draw some fibs. It's not going to be perfect, and I wouldn't stand by these fibs, but this is kind of what I'm short term. We're going to short term it. So I'm going to go from this high to this low from 3. So, okay, so it gives us a nice range. Adjust, lock. Give me my not view up on a daily chart. What am I doing? That was embarrassing. 200 MA is too far up to be able to even catch it, so we're not even going to turn that on. Where do my Bollinger Bands lie? Okay, so my 20 MA is there. All right, so cool. Let's take a look at this way. If you lose the low of Friday, which was 142, you're probably going to have to come and test 126. Again, 126 goes. There isn't any kind of support for me to be able to catch and show you how much lower it could go. If I was an estimating man, I'd probably put it around the 115, 114 range, just based off of the pattern that the stock tends to move in 3 to 7 cent bursts, right? If you're going to an upside range, you need to break the top end of these 2 wicks, right? You need to get over 155.50. Then you'll probably come and test 166.67. Then you're going to come and test this 180 range, which is the 9 EMA. You can get over the 9 EMA, you'll test 190. Test 190 to the upper side. You're probably going to see some resistance at 2. Because this is a penny stock, so whole numbers act as psychological resistance levels. If it can get over that, you come to test 2.12, and then the 20 MA at 2.18. After that, you got somewhat of a path to 2.30. So that's your upside and your downside on Mullen. This is going to be an interesting play for sure, especially if the earnings are in 2 days. I'd look to that. That's going to provide you with some guidance as to where this sucker could go. More than anything, honestly, more than anything here. Sorry about that. I just got a weird notification. More than anything here, you're going to want to watch to see how those earnings go, especially if they are in 2 days truly. But Mullen did take, unfortunately, a beating. I don't like to see that because I know a lot of retail traders love this stock, and I don't like to see when retail traders take a beating on things like this. But it's a company in their budding stages. Do we have a balance sheet on them? We do. Not too much cash, unfortunately. Negative free cash flow. If they can get the positive free cash flow, maybe they can kind of get a path up. But it's taking a hit. I think the majesty in the story is that a lot of people in FinTwit were looking for this, but they don't realize that a lot of dilution happened that caused the stock to drop, because this wasn't a bear market area. A lot of dilution forced it down. So that's unfortunate. So that's Mullen in a nutshell. I hope that answered those questions. I know this one was a little bit more deep divier than the other ones that we did because we had to adjust for a 25-day reverse split. So apologies there. I have 2 more stocks to do, We've got Apple and American Airlines. The gentleman that asked for Apple, are you still here with us? IT King, are you still here? And the gentleman who asked for American Airlines, Will Brown, are you still here? Let me know, and then we can do your two. You can do your charts for those two, and if they're not here, we'll go to closing arguments, closing statements, not arguments. Okay, let's see. Waiting for confirmation from those two. Confirmation for those two. Let's see. There's a lag between when I speak, guys, and when you guys see what I see that's posted from you. So that's why I kind of tend to pause sometimes as I'm waiting for a response. Okay, IEP. Chris is here. Okay, Chris is back, and Will's here. IT King is gone. So all right, let's do American Airlines. Then I'll do IEP because Chris was here earlier. He's back. Welcome. And that'll be the last two, and then we're going to call it a night. Before we close, I want to do a little quick plug. Oh, IT King is still here too. Cool. So let's do this. We'll do in the order they came in. Apple, IEP, American Airlines. We can keep it short if you're ready to be done. No, we can do it. This will be the last three, okay? Last three. I'm just going to do a quick little round of plugs. If you haven't already, do me a solid. Hit that like button. I want to get this sucker to 69 likes. We're 5 away. If you're here and you haven't hit that like button, you're breaking my little tiny heart. You're breaking my heart if you haven't hit that like button. Do me a solid there. I'm bringing back the screen sharing. That's also parallels to why I'm doing the plugs, because I can talk without doing that. So yeah, if you haven't already smashed that like, we're 4 away from 69 likes. Let's get there so I can send this screenshot to the boys, the producers up at Benzinga, and be like, hey, look at what we did. And a Sunday stream with no promotion, we got it to 69 likes. Let's see if we can get there. If you haven't already, do me a solid. Queue up this CPI video. I promise you there's going to be some sort of value for you in there. If you haven't seen it already, click this, go watch it. I promise you it's going to provide you with value. It's a very, very good video. I worked very hard on these, and these are my bread and butter videos. What does that mean? They tend to do the best in terms of results are my CPI, because that's been my kind of claim to fame. If you guys know me from FinTwit, if you guys know me from Twitter, CPI and FOMC are my two go-tos. I'm the go-to guy for those because I kind of know what's going on. With data. I'm not guessing. I'm not shaking a magic ball and being like, we know where this is going. No, we're data driven. And if you guys see my cap, it's a market cap. So this was a new hat that I bought. Next, if you guys want, you can follow me on Twitter. I'd appreciate you guys. Love you to the moon and back if you guys follow me on Twitter, because I want to provide you guys with some value there. The reason I ask you guys to follow stuff isn't because I'm trying to hoard numbers, right? It's because if you guys look, every single plug that I'm plugging comes with some sort or some ounce of value back to you as the viewer. CPI video prepares you for CPI. My Twitter provides you with some value, and when CPI comes out, earnings plays come out, I'm reporting them bing, bang, boom, getting them to you quickly, beating the Bloomberg terminal sometimes even. The guys who post from the Bloomberg terminal, rather. And then, of course, if you guys want to take your trading to the next level, want me to help you out on your trading journey, I'd love to have you on our team. It's affordable compared to all the other services out there. It's quite affordable. It's an investment in you. And the way that it's been set up through Patreon allows you to write it off as a tax write-off because of the way Patreon is set up. So, of course, make sure to check with your CPA. But if you guys sign up, it's a tax write-off. Sign up if you want to do the annual thing. There's also a discount code if you do the annual thing. There applies a discount if you want to sign up annually. I'd appreciate you guys to sign up there. So smash that like button. Are we at 69 likes yet? We're 2 away from 69 likes. 2 away from 69 likes. If you haven't liked already, please hit that like button. We're 2 away. Follow me on Discord. Join the Discord if you haven't. Follow me on Twitter and watch that CPI video. I promise you that CPI video will provide you with value. Make sure to watch it. It will get you ready for that day, plus massive SPY analysis there and the 2 to 3 day delay reaction that it can have. It accounts for both sides of the trade. All right, let's do this. I said Apple, IEP because the order it came in, because IEP is from a little bit earlier, and then American Airlines. Will, appreciate you still for being here. IT King, I appreciate all of you for being here. And if you're joining us right now, I appreciate you guys. We're 2 away from 69 likes. If we can get there, I'd appreciate it more to the moon and back. But let's do it. Let's do Apple. Apple reported some fantastic earnings, gave us a beautiful gap up, which means I need to redo my fibbies. And again, all this technical analysis and stuff that I do, I teach it to you. It's available to you via videos on the team. If you guys sign up there, you'll see that it's all there for you, because I want to make sure you guys are learning. And I'm not trying to make it a dependence-based service where you have to come sign up and you're dependent on me. No, it creates self-sufficient traders. I don't like this fib range. Let me change it. See, this is the cool thing. I also go over this stuff too. Is like looking for fib ranges. There we go. That's much better. Take a look at this. Bada bing, bada boom, zoom, zoom. We got Apple here. All right. Apple gave us a fat gap up. Apple gave us a fat gap. Sorry. I need some water. I apologize. Actually, you know what? We're going to do coffee really quickly. Apple gave us a nice, beautiful gap up. What happened? I actually have a summary tweet on this, which I can show you guys to kind of make it a little bit easier on us, because Apple's earnings are going to dictate how it's going to move in the next coming days, right? So Apple from Ryan Rozbiani. No, I spelled my last name wrong. I'm an idiot. There we go. Apple from Ryan Rozbiani. Now, this tweet didn't get much love. That's okay. My job is to provide you with information, not look for love, whatever the heck they call that. That sappy stuff. Here it is. Let me zoom in. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I zoomed in on the wrong window. Let's go zoom in. Come on down. Beautiful. Show more. The cool thing is Twitter now lets us post more. So this is the thing. iPhone sales were higher. iPad and Mac sales and wearable sales were lower. I believe services was in line. We'll double check that in a second. I'm going to provide you guys with a cool resource as well. There. Free. But you can see here, this is the thing that kind of confuses me as to the gap up happening. I'm happy about the gap up. I'm a shareholder. I'm very happy. The reason the gap up happened was the beat on EPS, beat on revenue, raised the dividend by a penny. Boo, big fucking deals. Oh, excuse me, can't say that. Big deal. And they also initiated a $90 billion stock buyback. But if you look at China and America, their two biggest regions, sales were down. Revenue was down. But in Europe, revenue was up. So kind of, I guess the Europeans are having a field day with Apple products. So that's that there. Also, the CEO did make some comments that I want to show you if I have the right tab. I hope I didn't open this in a new tab. CEO, Mr. Tim Cook. Not that guy. That's Jeff Bezos. I don't know why he's popping up here. But if you look here, he made some comments on Apple saying that they're looking to integrate AI into their products. I really hope that one day we can get, I'm holding an iPhone, if we can get AI into Siri, that'll be extremely helpful. iPhone models, the iPhone Pro models, which were slowing down significantly, caught up. That was a big help for, like, when he said that, it was like, bing, nice move there. CJ is right on, saying that Buffett and India catalyst for Apple, shorts close their profits. Yeah, Warren Buffett even came out and said, I want to buy more Apple. And in India, they produced more iPhones in India. There's a bigger move to India, which removes the volatility there. From China, unfortunately, sales were down, so I was thinking puts, but it went up. Yeah, that's the thing. I think a lot of people were thinking that. But this is the thing, IT King. Once you hear stock buyback, markets tend to go zoom on the word stock buyback, because it's like, okay, they're reducing their float. That shows a high signal of confidence from the company in the company, and it means that it's a huge, like, for example, last quarter, just to give you a quick example, Meta missed on earnings, but they did a significant buyback, and the stock gapped up, and everyone's like, what the hell? Why did this happen? Everything, the numbers suck. Oh, we're doing a buyback. It's kind of like a saving grace. Once earnings are kind of crappy, or you miss or you go down, you tend to see companies initiate stock buybacks, because that allows them to kind of be like, hey, we're not as bad as we think we did. So that's that there. They're seeing India, like we mentioned earlier, like my buddy CJ said, on India, said lots of people are entering the middle class, hopefully to convince some to buy iPhones. That was a big deal. It's penetrating a brand new market. In order to be successful in India, I have a lot of friends that are from India, and they say this, the first-hand accounts, you need an affordable version of the iPhone is what they're saying, because a lot of people will go for the Android, the affordable version of the Android, and will go there. Of course, you have people that can afford it, because you have richer people, but the iPhone is $1,000 phone, right? For the Pro model especially, but you need to get an affordable phone like the XR, the iPhone Color, the iPhone Mini. Those were affordable phones, and they did very well in newer markets. I'm forgetting what the word is for that, but they need to get a phone that's more affordable, and it'll blossom in India very well. They're seeing the impact of macroeconomics, particular in the advertising and mobile gaming sector, aka revenues down. Tim Cook says he's pleased with the reacceleration in China and the reopening. Hopefully China revenue picks up soon. CFO says they're seeing the impact of macro environment, seeing it particularly in advertising and mobile gaming. Okay, so Tim Cook said it, and the CFO is like, hey, let me just repeat what he said. All right, let's go to the charts. Let's jam on the charts. So Apple, we got our fibs. We drew our fibs. We covered the earnings. We discussed earnings of what happened. Again, the reason I'm doing that is because I want to, again, the reason I'm here is to help you guys, right? I can just come on here, chart boring, and then go home. I'm actually home right now. So I'm not going home. I'm already home. But emerging market, Oh, you're the best. You're the best, Nico. Thank you so. Emerging market. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you so. I was like, there's a word for that, but I can't remember it. And Transpider is giving me a lot of fun tonight with drawing my lines. They're like, you know what, Ryan? We're gonna play with you a little bit here. But you're in a channel here. So we're in kind of a channel, and it broke out of the channel, right? Friday, we broke out of the channel. On the buyback news, we created a nice gap. So I'm going to go to the 1 hour chart to see how things are looking. So you're consolidating here around 174.30. I'm going to drop a line here. Now, one thing that TrendSpider doesn't have that I wish they did was a horizontal line across the board. They don't have that. So we're going to need to remember this level here and go back to the daily chart, 174.40. Which was right here. We're going to check 174.40, which would put us right here on top of this range. And this has been a resistance area. If you look back here, around here, take a look at this. If you look back here at the March 2022 range, essentially almost a year ago, a little bit more than a year ago, you can see that this was a resistance range. And then if you can break above that resistance range, you get to 176. You can break above 176. You start flirting with that $3 trillion market cap range, right? Remember the $3 trillion market cap catalyst? People, literally Apple here went up just because people wanted a $3 trillion company for the first time. They're like, buy Apple, it's going to $3 trillion. So it ran up and then literally came right back down. I think we're in a different environment right now, but you need to break the high of day on Friday to go up. That's just essentially, in a nutshell, the easiest, most simplest description for that is you need to break the high of day on Friday to be able to make the next leg up on Apple. This is the thing. Unfortunate thing is that we are in a range that we haven't been in since almost over a year ago. So it makes it a little harder to be able to be like, okay, this is the volume wall on it, because I have a limited amount of range that I can catch volume walls on. Like I can try to extend this, see if it'll let me. Let me go to the daily chart. See, I have the range here on the daily chart. I'll show it to me, but I'm not sure why on the hourly chart it mitigates me to the same number of bars. It doesn't translate over, but I can see here that exactly. Take a look at this volume wall right here, 174.30. 175.75, which is exactly a level that I have as well on my numbers and my charts. And then after 175, you essentially get into, take a look at that. You're within range, right? You see these wicks. Take a look at this right here. What is this? 175.70. What did I say here? 175.70 lines up. If we can break above this, we have a path here up to test this resistance range here. I'm just going to draw a box because it's a little bit easier. Here, you see these wicks and these candles are in here. Essentially from, if we can get over this, what are you doing to me? If we can get over this 176 area, we can probably come and test the 176.70 range here. If we can get over that range here that we just were discussing, our next big party starts essentially around 177.23. It starts getting tighter, right? Because you're dealing with levels that you've only seen once or twice before, right? You've only been here once, and you've been in there on the way down. You've been on there on the way up once more. So you've been here once, 2, 3 times only. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out here, the 177. 177 can break out. You start to see, again, things are getting a little tighter. Excuse me if this is not as clear as it should be. Believe me, I'm having a hard time seeing it as well because it's so tight, because I'm trying to catch the past, present, and then we're discussing the future of it. We will dance with 180. 180 is where you're on the $3 trillion market cap catalyst. And then once you get over that, your next level is 180.65, 180.140, 182.22, and then the all-time high of 182.93. Now look, is it going to be, I'm a moron, so I'm just going to delete these fibs because I moved them and I suck for doing that. But look, you do have this gap here. So if again, cool thing that's happening, and again, the video is out there for the CPI, link down below if you want to watch and prepare for CPI. If CPI is good, it gives full clearance to Jay Powell to not get a rate hike, which means the markets will love that, and markets will probably most likely go up. It'll take it might not be the same day, it might be a 2 to 3 day delay, but that's just kind of how it works. If CPI is bad, you're going to be like, okay, markets are going to be like, all right, another 25 basis point is coming that we were not expecting to come. We were like, this might not be here for another few months or so. They might be pausing because everyone's expecting a pause. Even I'm expecting a pause right now. But again, CPI has to come out for me to be able to confirm a pause in my head. I can't confirm it right now, but I'm expecting CPI. Okay, I have a full video on CPI. Go watch that. I won't spend too much time here talking about it. But if CPI is bad, you can probably see this gap fill, at least to a certain degree, at least to this volume wall of 170. Things get uglier, you'll probably come to 168, and then if things get really ugly, you'll exactly retest the low. Beautiful way of putting it. So yeah, that's kind of the path that I'm watching for the gap here. Well, I would like the gap to fill, because one thing that I found is these gaps tend to be magnets eventually. They'll eventually come and fill at a certain point when things get ugly. If things get really ugly, you see everything get pulled directly to their gaps. Like magnets will be like, all right, boom, fill the gap, boom, fill the gap. Like Tesla right now, like I'll go back to Tesla for 1 second and then I'll come back to Apple and finish it. Like Tesla still has this ugly freaking gap between 154.76 and 146.41. The top of the gap acted as support and caught it, didn't fill it. But if CPI is bad or Jerome Powell comes out and goes, hey, we're doing another 25, we're doing another 50 basis points over 2 months, this thing will probably unfortunately fill it, because markets need to price in credit crunch, credit adjustments, earnings adjustments on this. So that's kind of the nutshell there. So for Apple, let me review it because I should review it. The hourly chart will provide us with better guidance and an entry. For puts to the downside, I'd be looking for a 173.18 break for a move to 172.18, which is our 9 EMA. For a move to the upside, I'd be looking for a 174.30 break for a move to 175.25, I think I said. I don't remember off the top of my head, but again, take it with a grain of salt. I'm not a fortune teller. These don't always happen. That's kind of the move that I'd be watching on Apple. So I hope that helped with Apple. I know we went a little bit more extensive than I'd like to, but let's do that. Next up, I have this IEP, and then American Airlines is next on the docket for those two. So again, let's see. Did we hit 69 likes? We hit 70 likes. Woo! I'm going to unlike it just so I can get the 69 likes. Thank you guys so much for getting us to 69. Oh, there we go, 69. Someone tried to mess with me and unliked. You thought you had me there, but it's okay. I appreciate you guys for always watching, supporting, liking the stream. Whoever unliked there, I'm gonna find out who you are. And I'm gonna send Batman to your house. Batman being Jason Raznick. I'm gonna send him to your house, and it's not gonna be pretty. He's gonna take your options away. Options again, I'm just totally joking. That was all a joke. Don't take that as a threat. I don't want to get a lawsuit because some guy took a joke the wrong way. Chris, IEP, let's rock and roll, brother. All right. Oh, Chris, you tricked me. I know exactly what this guy is. You're doing. All right, let me just double check what this guy is. This is the guy that's getting shorted. Oh, I almost quit Chrome. That would have closed the whole stream. I clicked the wrong bar up top. All right, let's see. IEP. I just want to double check that this is Carl Icahn's company that's being shorted. Is this Carl Icahn's company that's being shorted? Just to confirm with me, because I haven't looked at this ticker. Company operates in businesses, equipment, real estate. I'm 95% sure this is Carl Icahn's company. Let me just give it a Google. IEP, Carl Icahn. It is Icahn. All right, perfect. I just wanted to be sure. Cool, because sometimes you have a lot of cons out there, right? You got a lot of them. And I don't want to mess anything up. Vivek, what's up, buddy? I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome to the stream. Let's discuss that after, Vivek. I'll jump on and we'll discuss that in a second. Because I have a lot of thoughts about that as well. We'll close the stream. So we're doing IEP, then we got American Airlines, and then we're going to close out with some discussion. So this is Carl Icahn's company. It's being shorted. I have no clue as to what the short is for, what the short is regarding in. If you guys have ideas of the short or if it's substantial, it's obviously going to be a factor. But this is Carl Icahn, right? The guy's a Goliath. I want to see if there's any news on his short here. Investor alert. Okay, so I want to show you guys something funny. Okay, let me go into smaller view here. These guys are what we call in the industry lawyer ambulance chasers. So these guys go every time there's like a short report that comes out, or if a stock takes a massive dive, these lawyer companies are like, we're here to do litigation. We're looking for people to initiate a class action lawsuit. What they do is they get a bunch of people together and then they initiate a class action lawsuit, and then they get paid a ton of money. And the people that are part of the class action lawsuit get like pennies on the dollar. So I always find that's funny. Icahn declares a distribution of a $2 depository per unit event. Okay, don't care about that. I need to know more about the short. I do know that I believe you guys know who's shorting them, because I could just go directly to their website and pull up the short report. Crashes on short seller report. Okay, thank you for not telling me who that was. Come on, Benzinga tool, you're supposed to be better. Nosedive on Ponzi scheme allegations from Hindenburg. Okay, wow, that's a huge allegation. So Hindenburg Research. So let's give them a Goog. Hindenburg. Let me see if I can pull up read the report on Icahn Enterprises. Okay. How long is this? All right, too long. Don't want to read it. I don't want to read it too long. Ponzi scheme. Constant dividend of $8 per share in perpetuity. Holy crap, that's insanely high. Especially for a company. What is the market cap on this company? Where are you, market cap? $10 billion company giving out an $8 per share revenue. Insanely high. Icon is a rock solid dividend play. Yes, it is known as a dividend play, Carl Icon's company, because they deal in real estate. A lot of real estate companies also parallelly known as REITs. I don't think this company is a REIT, or they're classified as a REIT. They're classified as an industrial conglomerate due to their all-around situation. Come on, Carl Icahn, what do you got for me? So this is Icon, Third Point, and Pershing. You can see Third Point and Pershing have been taking a dump, and that's because Pershing invested in some bad plays, right? Remember Pershing did their freaking SPAC that went nowhere. Then Pershing invested in Domino's. They took a hit. Then they invested in Netflix. I tweeted Bill Ackman. I said, Bill, listen, I know you don't see my tweets. I don't care. Netflix is a bad buy. Don't do this. He didn't listen. I wasn't cool enough. Didn't have enough followers for him to respond. Buddy Boy lost $400 million on that investment. He should have listened to little old Ryan Rozbiani here. It would have saved him $400 million. But who am I to say anything to the great Bill Ackman, who caused a massive financial crisis of COVID, and they dropped then. So that's our hero, Bill Ackman. Okay. Premium to NAV. That's a high premium. That's a really high premium. So I'm understanding now the Ponzi scheme allegation. That's a high premium. Inclusive investment fund returns have been dropping significantly. Icon's dividends are mathematically unsustainable. I agree that $8 dividend is insanely high. Free cash flow. Okay, they have free cash flow. IEP. All right. Soul side liquidity NAV. Market subsidiaries and investments. Okay. Gross assets of total. Okay, so not bad. What's the bad part here? What gets the? I wish this. You know what? You know what'd be cool? If ChatGPT isn't connected to the internet, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give this to ChatGPT. Let's do that. Conclusion. Okay. Icon built an aura of invincibility around himself, a titan of Wall Street with a knack for coming out on top. But while the focus has always been on the grand public advertisement campaigns, quieter long-term investment losses, along with subsidiary uses of leverage, wilted away, his empire. At this stage, Icon's net worth is reliant on selling overpriced IPE units to retail investors while convincing them that they've been rewarded with a constant safe dividend in perpetuity despite the extensive evidence to the contrary. Confidence games never last forever. We expect Icon's enterprises to not be the same. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something interesting for the first time on Benzinga, probably for the first time. I'm going to put this whole short report into ChatGPT. I'm going to have ChatGPT summarize this for us. Again, we're doing some cool stuff here. So let me just log into ChatGPT. I have not yet upgraded to the full version of ChatGPT. I think I should. Okay, summarize. And then we're going to paste it in here. So let me bring it over for you guys to see. Message submitted was too long. Please reload the conversation. Okay, regenerate. Okay, I guess it's too long. All right, let's do this. Let me take a chunk of the report. Let me take the top half chunk of the report and put that in. I think the bullet points are the most important things, right? These are the most important things. So let's just do that. Okay, I broke ChatGPT, so I need to refresh it. Let me bring this over for you guys here. Summarize. Again, we're having fun here. We'll get to the chart, I promise, but we need to understand this because if the short report has merit, I guess it was a good ticket. I think so. I mean, if the constant dividend play is accurate and they have been consistently providing a dividend, why shouldn't it be a good play? Okay, let's see what ChatGPT says. Let's zoom in so you guys can see it too. Come on. Why isn't it letting me? There we go. The research suggests that Icon Enterprise. See, this is sick. Like, come on, ChatGPT. This sucker came in, bro. Turned like 8 pages into summarize into one paragraph to help guys like me who don't like to read on live streams. The research suggests that Icon Enterprises, a holding company, again, all this is allegedly, a holding company run by corporate raider and activist investor Carl Icahn, has inflated unit prices by over 75%. The reason for this includes trading at a 218% premium to its last reported net asset value NAV and inflated valuations for its less liquid and private assets. Despite underperformance, the company has increased dividends 3 times since 2014, which is great for investors. Icon's 85% ownership allows them to take dividends in units rather than cash, which is much higher, by the way, reducing the cash outlay required to meet dividend payments. Jefferies, the only investment bank with research coverage on IEP, has continuously placed a buy on IEP units, luring retail investors through its research arm. So, interesting. Is it reaching maybe the fact that they've increased their dividend and they've continuously paid their dividend? To me, it's okay. But again, I think the whole point of the short report is that this might not be sustainable long term. But I'm guessing Chris is not looking for a long-term play here. Chris is probably looking for a short-term either options trade. Chris, what are you looking for so I can attack it from that angle? Because that'll help me in my analysis. You're looking for a short-term trade on this sucker? Or are you looking for a buy and hold long-term? What's the deal is? And while Chris does that, I'm going to reply to this text message because there's a beautiful delay between when I speak and you guys speak. Good night. Let's see. Okay, let me see. Chris reply. Both. Okay, so you want short-term and long-term. Okay, cool. Let's do this. All right, so long-term, if you believe the company is a good buy and hold, and you believe they can sustain this, did Carl Icahn respond? That's a good question. Did Carl Icahn respond to the short report? Icahn responded in a statement to the Hindenburg report. Intended solely to generate profits on short positions at the expense of Icahn Enterprises' long-term stakeholders. We stand with our public disclosures and we believe IEP's performance will speak for itself over the long term. Icahn said, we continue to believe the activism is the best pragmatism for investing, and my activist investment for over 25 years have well proved this out. Sorry for that fumble, guys. I'm exhausted. We've been doing this for 2 hours and 20 minutes. We're at 71 likes. Thank you guys so much. Love you guys for watching the stream. So Carl Icahn's still behind it. Now, will this Goliath last forever? Can this outlast Carl Icahn? I don't know. Chris is saying he's 29 years old. Chris, I'm 28. Nice. It says, and for trading and for 48 long. Okay, so you want to hold this for 48 years long term. Okay. Let's take a look at this. So if you believe Carl Icahn and the company can do this long term, one thing is earnings came. Okay, so they dropped earnings on this company. This company dropped earnings. Let's see. If they beat on earnings, that's a big FU to Hindenburg. Earnings are on the 10th. I don't know who to believe. This calendar seems to be a little off. Let me check here. The implied move is going to be insane. 20% implied move. If you think now, this is how much you believe and trust Carl Icahn here, right? For the long-term move, it's purely on trust. It's purely on how much you know about Carl Icahn, how much can you trust Carl Icahn, and what do you feel about Carl Icahn personally? Because again, obviously this took a massive nosedive. This has taken nosedives in the past for other reasons and has recovered. It's a solid dividend play based off of the statistics that we just discussed and saw. If I was doing it and buying it long-term and I believed in Carl Icahn and his vision and his mission and all that and his activism stuff, I would buy this down here. I would say it's a great play for a long-term, and I would buy it down here. And if earnings come out good, you'll see this probably move up and squeeze the hell out of Hindenburg. Personally, not financial advice, just my personal opinion. But if earnings are bad and they come out and they cut the dividend for the first time since 2014, and if numbers are really bad and something results in a massive, massive downtrend, I would suggest significant changes to the stock price. You're going to probably see this sucker take a hit. And the reason for that being is because it'll prove what Hindenburg said. It'll prove that they need to cut their dividends. It'll prove that they need to drop their pricing, their premium pricing for the units and for the shares. So that'll be a long-term kill. So I would say if you're looking for a long-term buy and hold, I would buy this in a reaction to the earnings. But if you trust Carl Icahn and you believe in him, you read his books, you read his thesis, his analysis, he's someone you look up to, I'd buy this down here. Okay, now if we're looking to trade this in the short term, in order for this thing to make a move up, it needs to break that 9-daily EMA. You can see here that it's had 2 tests. I'm going to draw some fibs here. I'm going to turn off my indicators for 1 second because we're looking at a massive range, right? We're looking at from 52 to a low of 28. So there we go. I'm going to lock this because I'm going to probably do a trick in a second. Turn my EMAs back on. Boom. And this is a simple moving average. It's the 200 simple moving average. And I know we've spent a lot of time on IEP, but I'm becoming very interested in it as well. So that means that we're going to talk. Look, you need to break this 9 EMA to make a move up. Yes, you might, again, if you're looking to average into the position for long term, it's a great spot. If you're looking and believe in it long term, again, it all at this point stands on the earnings that are going to come out and your belief and faith in Carl Icahn. And I just realized we've been in here for 2 hours and 30 minutes. I love you guys for still being here with me. Thank you so much. If we're looking for a move in the short term, we go to the hourly chart. That was the magic trick I was going to say we're going to do. We're going to need to break this fib level here. So I need to get my levels on the top right so we can see it here. We're going to need to break 4061, which is very parallel to our 9 EMA at 4170. So we're going to need to break 4061 and then 4170 to be able to make a move up. So if I'm looking to trade options on this, my initial entry would probably be over this fib level here, 4061, parallel to our 50 level. And then if I'm looking to, again, trade this long-term on IEP, I'd be looking for a 4170 break and hodl to buy those longer-term options chains. And then for a move to 4170, which is our 9 EMA. And then the next level would be 4352. Again, the reason it's going to move fast is because it dropped fast. And once you drop fast, you don't create volume walls, which allows for adjustments to move fairly quickly. I'm just checking Webull to see how the options chain liquidity is. Options chains are actually fairly healthy with only a $5 spread on closer to in the money. A little bit farther out, the money goes to $10 spreads. I'd stay closer to in the money on this one, but you have to realize that IV is very high on this due to the short report situation. If you want a lower IV, I'd probably go out to something like June or September. Yeah, June or September. Yeah, I'd go out farther to June or September. But when IV drops across the board, it's going to drop across the board. And earnings coming out could induce an IV pump, because if IV comes in and people start buying this up and Carl Icahn goes, screw you, Hindenburg, we're raising our dividend or something like that, it'll cause a pop. So that's my move up. If you're looking for the downside, you're going to need to lose this 9 EMA here. And then parallel to the 9 EMA, you're going to want to lose this 35.75. 35.75 goes, you're probably going to come quickly to 34.11. You have some support barriers here, right? So you have some support here within this range of this candle. Again, very parallel to our volume wall right here. That's the one thing you want to watch around this $32 level, $33 level. Here, if that goes, you have a little bit of support here, as you can see historically, based off these candles. These are 1 hour candles. They're not solid, massive support, but they can become them if they tested it, if they bounce. If you lose 31.50, your gap's going to fill. This gap up, this baby gap up that happened will probably fill, because as you can see, no volume walls here. A million volume, what the heck is that? There, and if that goes, you have a little bit of support here at the 29.50. If that goes, you come down to 28.29. That is IEP in a nutshell. I will be personally watching IEP. I've studied a little bit about Carl Icahn and what he does, not extensively enough to be able to confidently comment on him. I don't know him as well as I know Bill Ackman's moves. As you know, we started out this lecture with me discussing Bill Ackman and what he was doing there. But I would say that this is a more of a discussion on, I'd review Carl Icahn, I'd review the earnings that come out, and then I'd make my decision off of that. All right, American Airlines, it's time to jiggy. Time to jiggy with American Airlines. Are you still here with us? The gentleman that asked for American Airlines. I know it's been a little bit while. Will, are you still here with us for American Airlines? Let me know. And if you're not here, we'll do closing statements around SPY. Really quickly while we wait for Bill. Will, excuse me, not Will. Also, I don't know how Bill is short for Will. I know Will is short for William, but how Bill is short for Will, I don't understand. I will never understand. But really quickly, if you haven't already, smash that like button. Smash that like button. I'd appreciate it. It means a lot to us. If you haven't already, get ready for after the stream to go and watch the CPI video. It's a highly, highly helpful video that will prepare you for the volatile event. They've been very accurate. I've been on par with these videos. They've been striking. They've been doing very, very well on par. I highly suggest you watch this video. If you want to learn all the technical analysis and stuff that I do here, along with my daily watch list, along with access to the SPY bot, along with access to everything else. Like, look, here's the SPY, like, here's some testimonials, right? Someone in our chat, in our group, just joined. I don't want to say his name, but I think he was here earlier. He turned 50 into 250 in just 4 trading days. He's just joined us. He's been doing very, very well because he focused on learning. Now he's executing, so he's doing very well. If you'd like to join us, I think there's a few spots left for this month. If you can get in now. It's a tax write-off. It's a huge benefit to you as a trader. You will learn a lot, and you can see here. Here's some more results if you guys are curious. Some more results here. 5354. And I think I definitely uploaded the wrong image. 55 is still on my laptop, so I'll have to upload that. But here is the SPY results from Friday. I've literally created this tool for you to be able to learn and follow along with me. Will says, me neither. LOL, people will always try to call me Bill. Yeah, I don't get Bill should be short for Billiam, not William. Like who the heck has Bill for Bill? Well, I don't understand. Bill's a cool name. Bill's a strong, powerful name, but I don't understand the trajectory and movement there. I think someone named William just hated their name so much. They're like, you know what? I'm not Will, I'm Bill. All right. Will is here, so let's do AAL, and then we'll go to closing statements on the S&P. I'm exhausted. I got a lot of work to do. This sucks, but it is what it is. I appreciate you guys all for being here tonight with us. It's been a lot of fun, obviously, and AAL looks clean. All I ask is if you guys could do me a solid, watch that CPI video, watch that, and we'll see where we go from there. 1 second. I just got a weird message. I need to reply to it. CJ, I know if you're still here, I see your DM. I'm going to DM you right back as soon as this stream is over. I see your DM. I appreciate you. Let me just reply now. Great to meet you too. Let's do AAL. So AAL, American Airlines, is actually one of our buddies in the group, Barnes. He trades this one extensively. He loves AAL. But you can see AAL has been kind of stuck under the $14 range. The $14 range has been kind of acting as like a psychological barrier for this guy. It has not been moving there. Will says, do you teach trading in general, or do you focus on anything in particular? Day trading, long-term investing, options trading, etc. So, great question. We do day trading in the chat, so I teach day trading that way. I have videos on long-term investing on our course playlist, so you can kind of get acquainted with there. I also share what I'm long-term investing in all the time, what I'm buying, what I'm selling for long-term investing as well. And we have a playlist on options trading as well to prepare you for there. The Discord revolves around day trading options. There are people who do long-term swings on there as well sometimes, but the market hasn't been facilitating those, unfortunately, right now. But it's revolving around, I would say, day trading options and long-term investing. Do you focus on small caps or mainly large cap day trades? So the cool thing is we have both. So for the day trades, I try to include a variety of market caps on the watch list because I want to be able to provide people with the ability for different price premiums, right? Because sometimes you have folks that can afford to trade these large cap stocks that are like Tesla, Apple, that trade for like 200. And then sometimes there's folks that are still learning process, are still with a smaller portfolio size and still in the learning stages, like I was when I started. So I provide smaller cap stops like Marathon Digital Holdings is one that we do. Carvana is one that we do. So I try to provide at least 1 to 2 options there. And of course, if there's any small caps they want to discuss or they always hit me up and I'm happy to provide them with guidance on that. But there are options. We have small cap, mid cap, and large cap on the watch list purposely for that reason, to be able to allow anyone within any budget range to day trade those, or both day trade, or if they choose to, they can swing it. So I post the charts on Sunday nights. That's why I'm trying to get out of here to go post those charts. I post the charts Sunday night so that they can kind of see it and they can plan swings off of those if they'd like to. So in a nutshell, yes to both. So I hope that helped. NASCAR All Out, I hope that answered your question. If you guys have follow-up questions, if you have any questions about the group, this is a great time to ask them. I'm more than transparent with anything you guys want to know. I will let you know that. That's, as you can see here, I'm one of the only trading teams out there that will post our daily results, good or bad, for all of our alerts, for all of our plays on Twitter, because I want to be fully transparent so you can see what's going on. And it's an education first thing, right? What does that mean? That means I want you to come, learn, and leave, right? That's weird, right? You've never heard that from a Discord. I want you to come, learn, and leave. What does that mean? I want you to come, learn to trade with us. If you want to stay and be part of the team, I would love that, because I love to grow our community with quality people. But I've had so many people, and it makes me like you might be saying, like, this guy is a schnitty businessman. What are you doing? You want people to leave your Discord? No, nothing makes me happier than when someone DMs me and says, hey, next month is going to be my last month. with you guys. Unfortunately, this month's going to be my last month with you guys. I've gotten to the point where I've learned everything and I want to go do it on my own. That warms my heart so much because it means that I've done my job in teaching you. We've had so many cases like that. And sometimes people are like, hey, I feel great. And they stick around. And I love that too because they become contributors to the Discord and the trading team. So if you have any questions about this team, I would love to know. NASCAR says, I need to learn how to hit home run lotto plays like HKD top ATXG under 20. So, okay. These are outlier plays, right? So you looking to be able to hit these, you're going to need a time machine to hit these or know that these are going to be happening. And if you see anyone claiming to know these before they happen, they're lying to you, right? My thing is I'm always going to be honest with you. These are plays that come out of nowhere and then they just move, and really algorithms have moved them. And then what happens is retail will try to catch a second wave and they'll get caught with they'll become widow makers. So look, let me show you HKD. So I have American Airlines will. I'm going to get to American Airlines. I'm not going to analyze HKD, but I just want to show him HKD real quick. Take a look at this. You have the stock running up, right? Is this the right one? No, I don't know. I'm not sure if this is the right one, if this is the one that we're discussing, but I'm going to assume that this is the right one. Top and HKD were both China IPO plays in the past year or so. There are only so many of those. Yeah, these Top is the newer one I think that happened. These China IPOs, the reason that you see these pops in the IPOs is these tend to, take a look at this. This is a gap up, right? This is a gap up. It's going to be very hard to catch this action. But I want you to take a look at this, NASCAR. Take a look at these top wicks. What are these top wicks? Are selling pressures. That means some sucker bought these up here and they got liquidated. Bought up here, got liquidated. Bought up here, got liquidated. And you can see here that they've been kind of on a downtrend. You get some second revival pops, dead cat bounces, and drops here. These aren't sustainable plays, in my personal opinion. But you have consistent plays that can become sustainable and win over time. Like, for example, you're looking for a quote-unquote home run. AMD was a home run for us on, I think this was on Thursday. I think I mis-uploaded this one here. This is for Thursday. The bot caught AMD and did 780%. Now, are you going to get this every day? No. That's a lie if I tell you that every single day you're going to get 780% play. But you're going to get plays that do, I call these home base hits, right? Base hits. And then you have some home runs that come in. And you have, I can show you other results because, again, they're posted on my Twitter. If you want, you can kind of literally scroll through them. And you can see them, but you can see here that some days you have base hits, right? Like this, these are base hits. And some days you've got these big home runs along with base hits. And some days are just crazy, like home runs across the board. The Friday one, I'll upload it after this under there, and you'll see it. Those results were really good as well. But here's some more. You can see this like Marathon ran 100%. I think you'd call that a home run. 49%. I'd call that a home run. Then you got your base hits. 29% on a Tesla option premium is sick, by the way, because those options go for like $300, $400. Just transparency there. So I think that if you're looking for home runs off of China IPOs, you're going to need a bit of a magic 8-ball to be able to catch those personally. And I don't want to, look, any other guy would come on here and say, bro, I got you. We're going to catch the next one, next China IPO. I'm going to be on top of it. We're going to get rich together. I'd be a lie. And I don't want to lie to you. That's not a good relationship that I want to facilitate with you and I here. So I'm going to be honest with you. These are very hard to catch, and they don't always happen. There are a ton of China IPOs that are widow makers. Just like, for example, like if you look at Hood, Robinhood, this isn't a China IPO. This is just an IPO, right? This is an IPO. Okay, let's go back. So you can see here that Robinhood IPO'd, and it ran up, and then 2 days later came crashing down. It's not letting me go that far back, but if you kind of see here, it IPO'd, ran up all the way to 86, and then Widowmaker. Like, I'm talking about these massive names. If you've heard of Andre Jick, if you've heard of Meet Kevin, if you've heard of Graham Stephan, these guys bought into this IPO, and they got Widowmaker. They got their portfolios destroyed because IPOs are risky and IPOs are destructive. I'll post an IPO thing here. So again, NASCAR, just my 2 cents on that there. I don't want to lie to you. I just want to be in full transparency there. If you have any other questions, more than happy to provide them for you. Under $20, we do provide plays that are under 20, like I mentioned, Marathon, Carvana, other plays that I'll always cycle and go out there to be able to kind of answer your questions there. All right, so let's go to American Airlines for Will. Will, I apologize for the delay in that, but I wanted to answer that question because a lot of people ask that question, and I always want to make sure, I always want to be honest with you guys. I don't want to lie to you, and I will never lie to you in this case because there's so many bad, like even today, if you guys were on Twitter, you saw another shady character got exposed. I don't want to ever put myself in the crosshairs of anything like that. So I will never, I don't like that. I'll be fully transparent and honest with you guys at all times. Let's go. So American Airlines, you have one support range there. So again, you got these triangles forming on American Airlines. American Airlines is budding to break out, right? It's fighting really hard to break out here. It's forming these descending triangles, which tend to be bullish. And you can see here, this was a descending triangle here too. Take a look at this. If we drop this line here, you got a lot of red and blue happening here, which is kind of hard to see. I apologize. I hope it's coming through. Like you can see, this descending triangle broke out. Another descending triangle is forming here. If I kind of clean this up a little bit, you'll see it better. This could break out here to the upside. If you can break the $14 win barrier, excuse me, let me zoom out so you can see it better. The $14 barrier here, just like this descending triangle, you can break out this $14 barrier here. You'll probably see a move to 14.20. You'll probably see a move to go for the gap though, right? If you can get over 14, which has been hell, if you can probably get to 14.18, and then it'll probably go for the gap fill at 14.32. Now again, this would be one of those, this is a more affordable premium stock here, so it can go very well here. So let me go to the daily chart. It can go very well here. What am I saying? If you can break over 14, which is very parallel to our 50 EMA, and you can break over 14.26, which we saw was the next layer of resistance, you have a path here to the 14.50 and then the 14.65, 14.78 range there. If you can get to those, then you start flirting with some legacy resistance levels around this 15.20 range, and then you get to the 15.35 fib range here, which you can see here was an old gap up. Is it going to happen again? Most likely not. Don't bet on an old gap up being the same place where another gap up could happen. Volume walls are thin, so it should move more quicker here. This is a higher float stock, if I remember correctly. No, it's not. It's 645 million. Excuse me, I'm mistaking it for Delta, I believe, which is a billion float. So it could move quickly both in both directions. Now that's the upside. Now if you want to look to the downside here on this stock, you're going to want to take a look at the 9 EMA on the daily chart. It's very clean, very beautiful. If you lose the 9 EMA on the daily chart, which is right now sitting at 1358, let me just delete this line. You lose this 9 EMA, which is kind of like, you can see it also acts as a support range. Let me just drop this line back in here. You can see that this area has acted as support. This 1350 comes down. You'll probably come and quickly test the 1335. That goes, you have a path to come down here and test this 1314/1307 range, this range right here. That goes, you come to 1293. That goes, you come to 1265. So I apologize for taking so long to get to your stock, and I hope that answered the question. If you have any follow-ups, please let me know. More than happy to answer them. We did a lot. We did Yeti, we did Fiverr, we did Square, we did AMD, Tesla, IEP, American Airlines, Apple, Mullen, Airbnb, Lucid, Palantir, and we did SPY for like an hour earlier. I do want to sneak one more in if you guys will stick with me here. I want to do Celsius. That's another stock that has earnings this week. We have the earnings calendar here. If you want to quickly look at it, Celsius has earnings this week. I want to do that one last one together, and then I want to review. I know my buddy, excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry. Got to get some water. Got to get some water. Oh boy, my throat is gone. Dude, guys, we're approaching 3 hours. I think I'm going to push this sucker to 3 hours. I did not get into the trash can. If you guys were curious, that was a water bottle aiming for my recycle can over there. Yeah, man, that was great. Thank you so much. I'm happy I came across the stream. I'm happy you found the stream. We do this weekly. If you want to follow me on Twitter, we do more analysis like this on there as well, and on my YouTube channel. Appreciate to have you there as well. Natalie Walker says coin. Sure, we can do Coinbase. We're gonna aim for 3 hours tonight, so we'll do the Coinbase, and I'll do Celsius, then Coinbase. Before we do those, I want to do my buddy Vivek came through and had a question about SPY, so we'll throw that in as well. So we have these three on the docket right now. NASCAR got a question for us. Says, interesting, that top ran hard after about a week after that. Prior to that, there was a bunch of Chinese IPOs that debuted in March that debuted flat. Yeah, that's the thing. They're hit or misses, and it also depends on who's pushing this thing, right? This is coming out of China. It's an interesting market. These are usually dual IPOs. So they've IPO'd already in China, and now they're coming to America and they're IPOing as well. Like Top, I don't know anything about the company. I don't even know what the name of the company is. I don't know what they do. They're a financial group company. I'm learning that because I see here. Top is an online broker firm in Hong Kong, specializing in trading of local and overseas equities. Excuse me. So these guys are like the Robin Hood of Hong Kong. So take that as you will. Again, look, this is also operating at such a micro float of 35 million shares. Also, what the heck happened to my chart here? What the heck? So yeah, it's like, see this. This is this. You're operating now. I think we're on a daily chart here. Let me go to the advanced chart. I haven't used this chart in a long time. It's been a long time since I've used this chat. There we go. So take a look at this. Is the first day of the IPO debut, right? So you can see here that if anyone bought into the hype over where it closed, which was 108, this thing ran up to 256. So anyone who bought up here got smoked. Even now you can see here it can't get. This is funny. This is funny. It's not funny that this happened. It's funny that the technical analysis is funny here because it cannot get over the close of that day, and it kind of gave out. It said, nope. Okay, it's not letting me make the lines thicker. Oh, it is. Let me go here. I haven't used this in such a long time. Now I'm just having fun with it. But it can't get over this 108. And it went and retested that, did a rounding bottom. It should have been bullish. It should have broken out of this based off technical analysis. But you're playing with a pump, right? The unfortunate thing about a pump is, let me adjust this so you guys can see a little bit better. The unfortunate thing about a pump is you need a lot of juice to break out, especially when it came up, it hit this, and then it kind of nosedived. So that's why I always suggest like NASCAR, like with these things are sexy and fun to look at afterwards. They're cool, they're fun, they're like, oh, cool. If you're a part of it, it's fantastic. But 99 times out of 100, it tends to be a widowmaker, and it gets ugly. Like I've seen so many people that got victimized by Kodak, by Nikola. What else has had these? Lucid had one of the. We discussed Lucid a few minutes ago on how it got pumped up on the rumor that Saudis would be buying it out, and it didn't happen, right? So, all right, let's do this. Let's do Vivek. Here we go. NASCAR. NASCAR's got a story for us. Hold on. NASCAR says, the sad part is I had 600 shares at $7.30 that day, and it ran to 260 after hours. I sold it barely for a profit. What happened? Hold on. I got to hear this. NASCAR, tell me what happened. So you had them at 760 a share. So you had them somewhere here. And then what did you sell at? Like, what happened? Were you not able to sell? Was there not enough liquidity to initiate a sell on top that caused this to go? And while NASCAR answers that, I'm going to start charting Coinbase for Natalie. Natalie, let's do Coinbase. Coinbase had good earnings. Coinbase had good earnings, believe it or not, but Coinbase is actually dealing with a lot of SEC crap right now, hence why it's been a mixed bag for Coin. But it had a nice pop. So let's draw some fibs. Natalie, I'm not sure if you're still here with us. If you're still here, confirm for me, and we'll do the analysis. If not, no big deal. We'll move on to the next one. Top left. I'll wait for Natalie to confirm. Vivek, are you still here with us for SPY? Let me know as well if you guys are here. And Celsius is one I'm doing for me. Oh, cool. Natalie's still here for Coinbase. Let me just throw that on the screen that we're doing Coinbase. My pleasure. All right, so let's do Coinbase. So we can see here that Coinbase has popped off of earnings. Vivek's still here too. Cool. I'm still waiting for NASCAR story. NASCAR, write the full story out, man. I want to see everything that happened. So Coinbase got a nice little pop off of earnings. Deservedly so. They beat earnings. They did good. Deservedly so. Nice pop, right? It broke this massive downtrend that it's been under the 90 EMA, popped off. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that Coinbase will move with Bitcoin as well sometimes. Bitcoin hasn't been exactly straightforward. I'm just going to double check Bitcoin on my other screen, BTC USD. Bitcoin is testing a trend line, which I'll show you after we do this. After we finish the coin analysis, I'll switch to Webull and show you the Bitcoin trend line that I've drawn. In order for Coinbase to go up, you're really going to need to break this 200 moving average, which is at $61, right? If you're looking for a day trade, we'll go to the hourly chart and discuss it. But for a long-term move, you're going to need to break the 61, and then it's going to be a battle to get over this volume wall to 66. It's going to be a big challenge. It's going to go 61, possibly have some fighting here around this range. You see all the graveyard of wick candles. You're going to have some fighting here at, what is this, at 62.30. Then the 63 range is going to give you some fun. And then you're going to have a big battle here at 64.70. And then you're going to have more of a fight here around the top end of this, around 66 to 66.30. And then you're going to fill this tiny gap up. If you can get over 66, there's a tiny gap up to 66.50. So you're going to have like a 60-cent gap there. And you can make the move up on this puppy to the upside. Now, to the downside, if you lose the 9 EMA, oh my goodness, why did I do that? If you lose I'm going to pretend I didn't do that. Let me just realign this. I keep forgetting to lock it. We're almost at 3 hours, guys. That's crazy. I don't think I've ever done a stream for this long. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Smash that like button. Go watch that CPI video for me. Make me a happy camper. What are we at likewise? 72 likes still. Okay. All right. The likes have dried up. Heartbreaker. Coinbase. Short term, I'm going to need, if you lose 57.18, which is this fib level, you'll probably come and test the top of this volume wall range here. Graveyard of wicks. If you lose that, yeah, if you lose this level here, you have some support. If you look back here, you have some support at the $52 range. And then you have some support down here. If you look at this candle range right here at 50.77. 50.77 goes, you're very quickly coming down to this $48 range and then 47. Now I'm going to go to the 1 hour chart to give a kind of like a quicker, lower time frame look at this. For calls, again, I'd wait for a break over this 200 moving average at 61 on the daily. This is the hourly chart. But for puts, I'd be looking for a break under 55.75 and for a test to come down here and test this 53.58, which is parallel to our 50 EMA on the hourly. If that goes, you're probably going to come and test 52.20, the same levels we discussed just a few seconds ago. So that's kind of Coinbase in a nutshell. I hope that answers the question, Natalie. If you have any if you have any follow-up questions, let me know. Just quickly checking one thing. Okay. We got more from the story. And NASCAR says top halted at $8. Then out of the halt, I bought the dip average at $7.30, but it hit $7 and looks like it was about to halt down. In a similar low flow China play a week or so prior. My pleasure, Natalie. Happy to help anytime. Quick halt up, then the halt down faded all day, and I didn't want to. Okay, so yeah, you were afraid of getting rocked. All right, so I totally get it. You probably did the smart move of better safe than sorry. Again, that's the thing. You can never predict how these things are going to go. That's why I say, like, stray away from these things, especially if you know how to trade. There's so many more opportunities out there in the market where you can make money without having to be dependent on a pump or an IPO burst or something like that. So that's that. Vivek is still here. Vivek, let me do SPY last because I want to close out on SPY. We'll close out on SPY. Let me just do Celsius very quickly. And then we'll do spot. We'll do that. And Celsius is mainly for me. That was what I had on my list to discuss. Okay, so we're gonna take a fat range on this one. We're gonna go from the high to the low. Come on. Beauty of the fibs. Apple possible to move up further. Guru, if you rewind a little bit, we did Apple. If you rewind a little bit, we covered Apple. We discussed it to the upside, to the downside. We covered the earnings. We did a nice 10-minute discussion on Apple alone. So you're going to want for Celsius, again, this is just me looking at this personally, you have a lot of devastating resistance in the 106 to 109 range. So we're going to need to break that in order to be able to test 113. 113 to 116 has resistance there. Again, I'm looking for this for a long-term play, right? You can see here that you had an inverse head and shoulders right here, head shoulder one, head one, shoulder two, and it's kind of breaking out there. Very good support on the 90 MA, very good support on the 200 MA, very, very, very good support on the 50 EMA. And I just jammed my finger on my keyboard, and that sucker hurt. Looking on the hourly chart, you're going to need to hold the 90 MA. 90 MA goes, you're going to come down and retest whatever this fib level is sitting at, which is, okay, I always should know to have it on the right side, but it's defaulted to the left. It's going to probably come and I'm sad. I moved the fibs again. This is what happens. Always towards the tail end of the streams, I will forget to lock the fibs. You guys remember the beginning, if you're here from the beginning, and whoever's been here from the beginning, you are a rock star. I will always lock them right away. But towards the tail end of the stream, I'm getting tired. We're 3 hours in. I always forget to lock them. So if we lose the 90 MA, we're probably going to come down to this 101 range. 101 range goes, you're going to come down to the 99.41. To the upside, if you can break this 106.24, you're probably going to come and test 108 and then go to 110 and then 113 and then 116. Very straightforward. I keep my stocks quite simple. SPY, closing arguments, closing statements. Let's discuss. Final sip of coffee in here just in time to quench the thirst, scratch the throat one more time. Chris, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you. Guys, before we do closing statements on SPY, don't leave just yet. One final round of plugs. If you haven't already, go to ryanstocks.com. If you want to join our trading team, you learn all this stuff, trade with me every single day, right there. You want to watch the CPI video and be prepared so you don't get caught off guard like everyone else will. These idiot analyst estimates, watch the YouTube video. You want to keep up to date with everything that I'm doing, providing value on a daily basis on everything that's going on, posting earnings estimates, posting everything, follow the Twitter. If you guys want flow data, I got a coupon code for you here. You want to trade on TrendSpider, you want to chart on TrendSpider like I'm doing here. I have a very, very lucrative promo code that most people don't have for 25% off for life. If you need a trading platform to chart on, Weeble's there for you. You get free stock. I think it's more than 5. I think it's like 16 partial free shares if you guys want there. And last but not least, Benzinga Pro, the tool that I use for posting all my earnings stuff and everything there. I have the only 30% off promo code out there, and you get a 2-week free trial if you guys want to check it out. Sign up there if you want. There's other stuff here. I would steer clear of these 3 if you guys don't want them. I have to update these and remove these. If you guys want an Amex, I got $200 off. You get a $200 code there if you get approved for the Amex and you spend a few bucks. I have that there just for pure comedic reasons. And this is something I've never showed this. I don't think I've ever showed this on the stream. But we're at 2 hours, so I want to have some fun with you guys. I created merch like a long time ago. Shib. If you guys remember Drake's album cover where it was the 9 emojis of the women, I created a certified bear trader. So he called it certified lover boy. So I created certified bear trader and certified bull trader. And this is my favorite shirt that I've created. It's buy the fear, sell the FOMO. It's kind of like a saying that I have. You guys don't have to buy this. This is just fun stuff. I haven't showed this to anyone in years. I created this like back in 2020. I have these shirts myself. I should probably wear them on streams, but I wanted to show you guys like charts and chill. One trader was hitting on another trader. And he goes, we should Netflix and chill. And then I told him, what about charts and chill? And he goes, yo, that's some Riz right there. So charts and chill, Morrow Moon Days, Buy the Fear, Sell the FOMO, Certified Lover Boy, Certified Bear Trader, Certified Bull Trader, and SHIB. This was during the SHIB era. The SHIB thing, by the way, it wasn't a money grab. It was essentially, I think all the money that I've ever made on this merch has been donated to a charity one way or another. I work very closely with the CARES Foundation on certain charity events. So all the products that were purchased through these were all made for campaigns to raise money for the CARES Foundation. Of course, unfortunately, not as successful as I wish they were, but we were able to kind of help them out a little bit, and we were posted on their newsletter. So if you guys want, you can check that out. If anyone buys anything, I'll make sure to donate it to the CARES Foundation, which is deals with heart problems for children. It's a heart condition for children that one of my trading partners' daughters unfortunately had or has. So we wanted to raise money for that. So that's there. I just wanted to show you guys that because it's fun. But make sure you've hit this like button. We did 74 likes. We beat 69. Thank you so much, guys. Love you. Love you so much to the moon and back. If you haven't already, hit that CPI video. Watch that CPI video. I promise you there will be some value for you in there. And join our trading team. There's a few slots left. If you want to invest in yourself, you want to become a better trader, you want to be a part of a team that cares about you, that's different from any of these other idiotic teams that are out there that are full of bias, that are full of drama, that are full of all this other crap. Our trading team is built for you. Sign up, join there. It's so affordable. It's so much value for the affordability. And you saw people that were in here earlier were vouching for it. He said the best trading team he's been on. Another one of our guys was here last time. He said he's been with us for 4 months. He's been profitable for all 4 months. That's that. NASCAR's got another snippet of the story for us. NASCAR, what is it? It says one more part of the story. Top was the stock that held it up and then instantly held it down on 419. That made me hesitant on top. I don't blame you whatsoever for being hesitant on it. The difference between top on 419 and top on 227 was that UCAR had a run for 10x on 420, another Chinese IPO. So sympathy play move there. So totally get it. All right, let's do SPY. Let's get to Vivek's question. Let's do some closing statements on the S&P. If you haven't already, I forgot one more plug. Follow the Twitter if you haven't. No one's following on Twitter anymore. Hit that follow button on Twitter. There's a ton of value for you there if you're on Twitter. It's all my free content goes on Twitter. So let's go to SPY. Oh no, this is Benzinga. So I can close these, close ChatGPT. We had such an extensive stream. We used ChatGPT. We looked at a short report. We did some analysis. We did so much stuff. You're like, this is such an educational little bundle that we just put out here. And in 4 minutes, we're going to hit 3 freaking hours. So the S&P. The good old S&P 500 SPY, which I trade daily, and now you've got access to the SPY trading bot, SPY alert, and SPY plan bot, rather. on the Discord, which can provide you with a ton of value and help you learn. It's such a good tool if you just want to learn. Even I've had so many traders that just come on board now and have been looking at it. It's been out for 2 days. And they're like, dude, this helps me learn so much more about where the markets are going and understanding my thought process. It's not alerts. It's like, hey, look, this is, if it goes above this, I'm going to do this. If it goes below this, I'm going to do this. So it helps them out there. And it's not just meant to be, it's just meant to kind of help people learn more and become better. Vivek, let me go to your question. We've been here for 3 hours. Benzinga, you see this? Show me another one of your streams that does a solo guy for 3 hours. By the way, I don't get paid to do this. I do not get paid to do this, in case you guys are curious. This is all 100% free. That's why I asked you guys to follow me on Twitter, subscribe to the YouTube. That way I can get a little bit of value out of it. And even that stuff I don't get paid for. Like my YouTube, I think, has made this past month like $40, like pennies on the dollar. So for the amount of work that goes into it. So I would appreciate it a lot if you guys could subscribe to the YouTube, join this and that. All right. So Vivek said, hey, Ryan, what do you think of SPY filling the gap on the daily from 425.25 to 425.50 formed on April 18th and 19th? Okay, great question. So for this, I'm going to go to the, let's find the gap first, right? Formed on, what is it? April 18th and 19th. Okay. I'm assuming you're talking about 2022 because we haven't been there in a long time. You're talking about this gap, right? Come on. There we go. By the way, you have one more gap here. If this would tighten up a little bit. Did this 419 to 420? Okay, so you have one more gap before you hit that. You have a gap from 419 to 421.22 first to fill. And I think you're talking about this gap up here. You're talking about this guy right here. Chart it. Figure. Lock figure. Okay. So first, Vivek, we first have to close this gap from. Okay. We first have to close the gap from 419.96 to 421.22. So that's the first gap we need to close. And I'm trying to just lock this figure. I'm just checking on Webull, I have the tool that shows me the gaps. So I'm just checking that really quickly to double check that I have the parameters correct for the gap. So give me 1 second. Let me go back in time. So I have a gap from 419.98 to 420.22, which we have here. And then we have, if I kind of zoom back out, okay, 2022. Why isn't that showing up here? Oh, hold on. There we go. Beautiful. So we have two gaps. We have one from 419.96 to 421.22, and then we have another gap from 425.26 to 425.50, like you mentioned. But what about this? Like, why isn't? I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's missing a candle here or what the story is here. But let me go to the daily chart. I think on the daily chart there was like a wick down or something that. See, that's what it is. But really, the gap is to 427. Oh, no. I see what happened here. Okay. So, yeah. So, from 425.26 to 425.50. So, that's 25% gap. First, you have to fill this gap. And even in the volume profile, there are no walls or above the current level. Yeah. I do see walls, though. I'm not sure what interval you're looking at it on that doesn't show you volume walls, but I do see walls here. And we just hit 3 hours. Awesome sauce. I do see the volume walls here up to 427. So you would rip through this fairly quickly because it's only 885 million. On the euphoria of the gap fill, you probably rip through it and go to 427.10. And then you test the 10, you'd get to this 427 range. But first, you got to fill this one gap up here first. We got to take one gap at a time. Plus, we're only down here at 413. We need to break over 413, break over 415, break over 418, and then we come and test the lower end of the gap at 420. Let's just call it 420, right? Easier to say. 420, 420.69. We get to 420.69. Then we get to 421.22. By the way, 420.69 is an actual level that happened. I have a YouTube video. Let me pull it up for you guys. 420.69, where I said SPY to 420.69, right? And people laughed at me. And then the consecutive day, guess where we closed? 420.69. So let me just show you guys this because this is funny. SPY to 420.69 again. That was one of the videos that we had put out on the YouTube channel. And it happened. It actually happened. And everyone was like, we thought this was a meme, and it actually happened. I can't believe it happened. But it happened. So we'll have to get to, so these are the levels I have. 413.84, 415, 418, 420, 420.69, 421.22. And then after that, I haven't looked at it beyond that point, right? I haven't looked at it that far up because we haven't been there in a year. So I haven't really analyzed it. But then if you come here, 420, 420.69, 421.22, your next level range is really sitting here at 423. And then from 423, you go to 425, and then 425.25 to 450. So you have all these consecutive levels and consecutive jumps you have to go through before you can make it to your penultimate level, so on and so forth. So that's the story for SPY in a nutshell there. I hope that answered your question, brother. And I want to also take a second to thank you all for being here for the stream. It's been for 3 hours. I don't know if anyone is been here from the beginning. Thank you if you have. That's so cool if you've been here from the beginning. One final round of plugs. If you haven't already smashed this like button, it'll mean a lot to me. All my links are at ryanstocks.com. You can see here. You can sign up. You can join our trading team. If you haven't learned how to trade like me and everything that I'm doing, and you can see here, like, this is the value I'm putting out for free. Imagine the amount of value that I'm giving out for giving out behind a paywall. So just take that with a grain of salt there. Double tap on SPY on the daily, by the way. CJ, I see it too. I see what you're talking about. That's why I'm very, very, very hesitant about if CPI comes out bad, it could get ugly. By the way, the double tap that CJ is talking about is right here. 1, 2, double tap. If this gets ugly, you come down, you test the neckline here at the 200 MA, and then you probably have a path down if things get really, really, really ugly. So back to the plugs. Sorry, I just have to do it. Part of the game, part of the name of the game. So this is the trading team. Imagine how much value I give to them behind a paywall. So just take that with a grain of salt. Take that and run with it. A few slots left for the month. I would love to have you on our trading team, be a part of the trading journey with me here. The YouTube video, watch that CPI video. If you can't join the trading team, if you just want to watch something that'll provide you value instantly to see the amount of my work ethic, watch the CPI video, click this link, watch the CPI video. I promise it will provide you with some sort of value. I'll put it in the chat too. Make CPI video. I don't know if hyperlinks come across in the chat, but screw it. I'm going to do it. I'll pump that out there. And then ryanstocks.com. I'll also put that in the chat. They're all in the description, by the way. They're hyperlinked in the description, so it might be even easier for you to just hyperlink from there. But I'll also put the team, if you want to join our team, it's this link right here, so you can kind of join us there. But all the stuff is on ryanstocks.com, which I'm going to show you something, guys, something really cool, a gift that one of my friends gave me. If you guys stick with me, it's a kind of a historical thing, a reference to the old ways of the stock market. So Discord, YouTube video for CPI. Follow me on Twitter. It's absolutely free. If you guys want to use TrendSpider, use the tool that I'm charting, you can with a 25% off code for life. Only guy on the platform that I think has that, aside from the CEO and admins that can give that out. Benzinga for 30% off. If you guys want to, okay, I can't click it because I'm already signed in, but the only person on I think in the world that has this 30% off discount code that's still in effect. Let's do an incognito. Oh, you guys can't see my incognito window, but I think it's still, let me see if I can do it. Let me see if I can sign up. It's okay. It wants me to sign up first. So, okay. So I can't test it out, but you can try it out. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, let me know. I'll get the code back from them. But more than anything, if you're looking for a value add, join the team, subscribe to the YouTube, follow the Twitter, a ton of value there. I promise you that I will be able to provide you with something somewhere in some shape or form. And if I'm not, you can always ask for it and I can update and adjust. That's where the SPY info plan came from. People were like, hey, just typing it out in the chat is harder for us to see. Can you create this? So I created this monster, the SPY trading tool. So let me show you guys one more thing before we go. This is a relic of the old S&P 500. of the old trading world. So one of my buddies got me this for my birthday. I haven't seen him in a few months, but I finally ran into him on Friday and he got me this. This is an old ticker tape. So this is where the old stock prices would get printed out. And he had ryanstocks.com engraved on it, which it was heartwarming for me because it's the first piece of merch that I have with my name, with my website branding on it, right? So it's really cool. And actually on that ticker, Lowe's is actually on this and a few other names are on this. The S&P's on here. So I just wanted to show you this. This is how back in the day they would get like via like signals. They get the stock prices sent to them this way. So it's just something that I wanted to show you guys. And this is by the way, this is a sample of what the alert, the spy bot does. And it tells you my plan, like here, calls over this, puts up, again, this is jibber jabber, obviously, because I did this for fun, a test to show what a sample would look like. There's a disclaimer here. I'll tell you what contracts I'm looking to take. And it has the time when it goes out. So you can see if it's up to date. And this is the plan posted literally for every single one. How it would have resulted if you traded every single one of them. And this isn't leaving out anything. This is every single one of them here. And you can see here, like, for example, obviously not every single one of them was here. And obviously we didn't get an entry at the end of the day. It was just too strong. We couldn't go over the 200 MA, and the break under the 9 EMA didn't give enough confirmation candles to be able to get into it. You need confirmation candles. Whenever you're trading, especially later in the day, wait for confirmation candles. What is that? 2 to 3 candles afterwards that are below your price level, below your entry level. So join the team if you haven't. I'd appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching, all of you. I appreciate you all. Love you all. So happy to have you guys here. We did 3 hours and 7 minutes. Thank you again. Make sure to watch that CPI video. It's the best thing you can do for your trading this week, in my opinion. I have to say that. But thank you all so much again. Have a great evening. Remember, as I like to say, buy the fear, sell the FOMO, and signing off. I really hate to say bye, but bye-bye. I'll see you guys next week.